and welcome into some state playoff football here from Cedar High School. The Cedar Reds taking on Logan, and this is bound to be a great matchup. Keaton Formaster here and Keith Curtis on the broadcast with you. I was going to say tonight. It's not the night. It's the afternoon right now, Keith.
Yeah, perfect day for a football game. We're Deer Hunter weekend. Leaves are changing. What a beautiful sight.
Yeah, it's very nice. You know, earlier today, I'm going to jump into this as we hop into the Findlay Subaru pregame show here. We were talking about the best views in Region 10 from the press box. And I got to say, this has to be number one, right?
Oh, there's a lot of color here. That's unbelievable. You've got there, for those of you who are listening at home, you probably know, but there's the Red Rock in the background. You got the Ponderosa Pines. The leaves are changing. I mean, it's just beautiful. What a beautiful place to call a football game and play a game, and just a great venue to be a part of.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to be here, and we're happy to be here and bringing you this game today from the Fan Sports Network. Now let's hop into our Findlay Subaru pregame show. Talking about this matchup. This is an 8 and 9 matchup in the playoffs. Before we get into this specific matchup, let's talk about some of the other matchups going on here in the first round as well, and then we will kind of dive into this one. Going on right now is Hurricane. They went up north to go face one of the Regional 11 teams up there. Who are they playing today? I just lost it.
They're playing Skyview.
Skyview. Thank you for keeping me in check. Skyview, that's right. That game's going on right now, and in fact, if you head on over to the fansportsnetwork.com, you can watch that game live. Just head on over there and click on the games for today, and Hurricane Skyview will pop up. That one, again, is taking place on the fansportsnetwork.com. So, in fact, all games in this first round for the Region 10 teams is on the fansportsnetwork.com, and with our partners up north, CashValleyDaily.com, as well as KSL Sports. So lots of different places where you can catch these games, and if you're listening on radio as well, we invite you to check out your teams online and watch the games, as well as listen on the radio. Either way, as long as you're catching some state playoff matchups here, we're excited to have you with us. So again, yeah, Hurricane Skyview, that game is happening right now. Can you give us a quick score update?
Yeah, right now it looks like Skyview's up 12-0. It's in the second quarter, and just to give you an idea, I was listening to the telecast on the way in, and Hurricane went right down the field, got inside the 10-yard line, but didn't score. So great job by the Skyview defense to keep them out, and it looks like they've been able to capitalize on a couple big plays.
Well, right on cue, Hurricane had a quarterback run there from Grondell, who got 6 points on the board. They went for the 2-point conversion and were unsuccessful with that. So it is now 12-6, actually, as we speak. So, again, you can find that game over on the fansportsnetwork.com. Click on live games and go to the top one. Should say today's date of the 21st. It says watch live for a state football. So click on that. You can watch these games live, as well as this one as we're heading into our pregame show here, our Findlay Subaru pregame show. So, well, that's just one of the matchups. Obviously, we talked about as well the matchup here, this 8-9 matchup. You have the 5-12 matchup of Snow Canyon, Green Canyon at 6 o'clock as well.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting ball game. I'm curious to see how Snow Canyon responds, having a couple weeks off with the bye and getting ready for the playoffs. They should be well rested and ready to go.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a good part about having some time off, and I know that Logan also had some time off, so they've had a few weeks where these guys get about a week and a half.
Yeah,
which is still pretty nice, right? So.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that was just what's up.
So as this game's just about to get underway, again, another one of the matchups real quick going on tonight is Pineview at Ridgeline. Pineview going up the road as a 13 seed to face off against a 4 seed Ridgeline. Ridgeline just under that threshold to get the bye through the bye week. So the 3 teams that are not playing here in the first round that got the bye is Crimson Cliffs, Dixie, and Desert Hills, all Region 10 schools that got those top 3 spots. spots. So congratulations to them on getting an automatic ride through the first round and into the second round.
Yeah, I'm sure some of the folks up at Ridgeline are not too happy with how they flip-flopped right there at the end with the RPI, but for those schools that got the bye, it was well-deserved, and congratulations to them. But I'm really excited. We got 2 schools here today that are pretty evenly matched, Caden, hence the 8-9 seeding game. And the other fun part about this is they have the same colors. We're going to be trying to figure this out. Good thing one's wearing white and the other one's wearing maroon. So.
That's right. That always makes it a little tougher when it's the same colors. But hey, you know what? Today, they're at least offset. We know that the maroon jerseys are the Cedar Reds, and Logan's going to be wearing those white jerseys. So I'm curious how some of these Logan fans feel as a team that's 5-5, having to face off against a team with only 4 wins in Cedar, but Cedar's the higher seed. The RPI is just kind of strange like that.
Yeah.
It makes things a little interesting.
Well, Caden, I kind of broke it down. I looked into their records and whatnot, and Logan has a 4-1 record outside of their region.
Yeah.
And so they I'm not going to say they probably beat up on some smaller teams, but
the RPI would make it look that way for sure.
That's what the RPI, that's what its purpose is for. They were 1-4 in region, so whereas we've seen the Cedar Reds play a few times, and they've lost 3 region games by a touchdown or less. We know that they've been right in there in a lot of ball games, and so I just think the overall competition's been a little bit stronger.
Yeah, you definitely could say that. I think I can agree with that. So,
but I could see why they have to travel down here,
right?
Whereas they got the better record. They would have thought that they had a home game. And
now here's what's interesting. Logan, yes, has the better record, but Cedar has played some tough competition. Remember, the top 3 teams are Region 10, and of course Cedar's a Region 10 team. So they have played tough competition, and they've had matchups where they've been pretty close. Cedar hosted Snow Canyon, and that was a tight matchup. Snow Canyon barely squeaked out a win there. In fact, Cedar was leading late in that game, and Snow Canyon came back to win it. So in Snow Canyon, we've seen how well they've played since that game. It's been blowout after blowout for the Warriors since the Cedar game. I think that one kind of woke them up a little bit, and they realized we got to do something differently here.
Well, and then you take the Cedar-Dixie game, too. It was 25-24, and Cedar, it was a back-and-forth game. Cedar actually had the lead until the very last play, and, just one of those games where just it wasn't on their side. Luck wasn't with them. So, but they've had a few games like that this year. So it's going to be really interesting to see, who can come out and force their will on each other. And everything we're hearing from the Logan side is their line is pretty good up front. They're agile. They like to do the stretch run plays. They like to do some zone concepts. I'm really curious to see how Cedar's going to, because Cedar's used to going up against these spread teams. How are they going to be able to handle it? Are they going to go 3 or 4 down linemen? Or are they going to go 5 in a box? I'm curious to see how the chess match is going to begin as we start here in just a few minutes.
Yeah, both teams meeting out in midfield right now. Now, as we mentioned before, this game is being brought to you here on the Fan Sports Network in southern Utah, and it's also on CacheValleyDaily.com up north in the Cache Valley area, as well as 102.1 FM and 610 AM. So, want to thank our sponsors on both sides. Big shout out to some of the sponsors from Cache Valley, Adams Wealth Advisors, Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, Logo Shop, Napa Auto Parts, Planet Fitness, Old Grist Mill, Preston Watts, Express Auto and Tire, Advanced Heating and AC, New Horizons Beauty College, DD Auto and Salvage, Cache Valley Auto Care, Les Olson Company, and CacheValleyDaily.com. Thank you to our sponsors up there in Cache Valley for putting on the show up there. And then, of course, to our sponsors here in southern Utah, as well as, again, we are in our Findlay Super pregame show. Both the teams meeting for the toss. Looks like the coin just landed on the grass. They look to Logan for a sign, so it looks like Logan won the toss. And Cedar will start things off with the ball. Logan will defer. So.
Yeah, it looks like Cedar will be going from our north to our south. Looks like there's a slight breeze, a southerly breeze out there. So if come fourth quarter, that may be an advantage for Cedar, because in the second half they'll flip sides, and if you need to throw the ball into that wind, it'd be easier to go with the wind than against it. But yeah, it's not a lot of weather conditions that we need to worry about as far as today's game goes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, we appreciate you joining us on this broadcast. It's bound to be a fun one as we kick off the 4A state playoffs today. One game already underway out with Hurricane and Skyview. And we appreciate you being here. So we're going to take a break for the national anthem. Give us 3 minutes, and we will be back with you in just a bit here on the Fan Sports Network.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much, except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
4A state playoff football is about to get underway here from Cedar High School as the Cedar Reds take on the Logan Grizzlies. It's Caden Formaster and Keith Curtis getting ready for kickoff here as the Grizzlies will send it north to the Cedar Reds to get this game started. Again, big thanks to Findlay Subaru for our pregame as we head into our UD & Associates kickoff. UD & Associates, your local American family insurance agency in St. George.
Caden, I can't wait for this to get going. It's these are going to be two evenly matched teams here, and I think we're going to see a lot of fireworks today.
I think so too. Now remember that you can catch this game live on the fansportsnetwork.com right before this UD & Associates kickoff. Quick update that Skyview has a touchdown and 2-point conversion. It is 20-6 Skyview over Hurricane. Kick is away, and it is already called. So they're going to have to re-kick. Flag on it, and they'll send it back.
Those kids from Logan, they've been sitting on that bus for so long. They're anxious to get down the field. Just got a little bit ahead of the kicker that time. So they're going to make them redo it. Can't blame them, though. They're sitting on that bus for 4 hours. They want to get going.
Yeah. Kicker today for the Grizzlies is Isaac Lopez Morales. Now he's going to have to retry from the 35-yard line.
That was impressive. You've got some Spanish heritage in your blood, don't you?
That's true. I don't know if that's true, actually, but I do speak some Spanish. That part of it's true. Sends it again. This time it falls about the 10-yard line. It's going to roll back into the end zone.
Well, they got a favorable bounce as it hit the 10, bounced sideways and rolled into the end zone. So great kickoff there to pin them deep to get going.
Devin Crenshaw was there ready to pick it up, but it took a weird bounce off the grass and rolled its way into the end zone. So Cedar will get the ball to start on the 20-yard line. That brings out this Cedar offense with Coden Lunt back at quarterback to get things rolling for the Reds. The lefty. He takes a snap, hands it off on a sweep, trips up over the grass and falls down is Trayden Elliott.
Yeah, Trayden had a blocker out in front of him, but the turf monster just came up and grabbed him by the shoelaces and he tripped right over his own feet.
Right over his own feet. So bring up 2nd down, 10 to go here for the Reds.
Okay, and you mentioned Coden Lunt. He's completed 59% of his passes on the year for almost 1,500 yards. Had a solid year.
He takes the snap. He's going to keep it himself. Keeper up the middle. Not much of a gap. Gains a yard or two.
Yeah, he just tried to find a little hole there between the guard and the tackle. And great job by the Logan defense. Number 21 was in there for Logan. He's the middle linebacker. That's Keimani Lang. He's a senior running back, linebacker, and he did a nice job just filling that hole.
So it's 3rd down for the Reds. 3rd and 8, I believe. Snap is away. Lunt drops back. Pressure got to him, and he throws it incomplete.
Oh, they're going to get a penalty down. They went to Lunt at his legs as he went to throw that ball, and I think they're going to call that an illegal.
A roughing the passer call?
The passer, yeah. That's gonna
he
be
did kind of dive at his legs, even though the ball was away.
That's a huge penalty because that'll give him an automatic first down.
Yeah, and good movement up the field as well.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a holding on offense. All right, so that brings up 4th and 8 then for the Reds.
Well, what a great start for the Logan defense. They only give up 2 yards, get a 3 and out, and just like that, forcing Cedar to punt. Couldn't ask for a better start.
Yeah, now Cedar's got a punt into the wind as well, so on a 4th and 8.
Yeah, they're only about 25 yards away from the line of scrimmage with that wind blowing the way it is.
Hernandez Hinojosa punts this one away. It's got some good air underneath it.
Got a great
Falls
bounce.
in and rolls out to the 32-yard line.
Boy, what a great bounce. They got an extra 15 yards out of that kick. So,
yeah,
very fortunate for Cedar to get that kind of a bounce.
They marked it up a little further. They'll put it at the 35. This is where I guess the ball took that hop over.
Boy, I got to check my glasses here. I thought they got a little further on that roll.
I thought they did too. That's what I'm saying. It's on the far side of the field. You got to give us a little credit for that, right?
Yeah, really.
All right, so this Logan offense will take over for the first time this afternoon.
Yeah, Keaton Pond, number 3.
Keaton Pond at quarterback. Pond passes away, slipping it. Pretty good game, about 6 yards. That was number 7, Andrew Thornley.
Well, that was a great move. He looked like Stockton Albrecht was going to come up, the linebacker for our safety for Cedar, but he missed him. But a nice solid tackle by York to bring him down, but not till after he got 6-7 yards.
2nd down. 4 to go for the Grizzlies. Pitches it back. Defense coming in on it and taking him down. That was Titan Mason on the carry.
Yeah, that was a great job that time by the Cedar front. They were able to stretch that play out. And
that was Tyler Ogden on the stop.
Tyler Ogden was there as well as Bryson Bennett. So great job by Cedar making that 3rd and 5 and a half, 6 yards.
Quick score update. Skyview scores again. So they now have 27 on the board to 6 against Hurricane. Third down now. 6 to go for the Grizzlies. Snap is away. Pond back to pass. Pressure getting to him. And he's taken down for the sack. Again, Tyler Ogden on the stop.
Boy,
2 big defensive plays by Ogden.
He's come to play today. We've called his name like 2-3 times already. Ogden just got fought off the block as Pond tried to go to his right a little bit, but he was able to bring him down by his ankles, and that'll bring on a punt situation.
4th down. 11 to go here for the Grizzlies. Snap is away, and so is the punt, nearly blocked.
Yeah, that was number 2 that time, Damian McGarvey. He almost got that block and forced the punt to go out of bounds. So I think they're going to get a real favorable spot here.
Yeah, that punt landed on the track, so it's going to be pretty good for this Cedar offense as they take over on a U First Credit Union first down. U First Credit Union, your first choice for credit union here in Southern Utah.
Okay, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, both schools, we were talking to some of the Logan folks earlier, they don't have a ton of depth, and it's going to be interesting to see how they can hold up. They've been fortunate, they were saying, to avoid major or big injuries. So they've been able to work with the numbers they got, but it's going to be interesting to see how they hold up.
Lunt with a deep pass. Does he have him? He's got it.
Oh, he hit the
ground.
ground.
He's going to say no.
That was Connor Hardman. He went on the fly pattern and hit it and dove. It hit him right in the hands, but the ground forced it out right at the last minute.
Connor Hardman, of course, the intended receiver. I had the chance to talk to his brother yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I ran into him in Mesquite, and we were talking some Cedar football, and he's like, "Hey, my brother's on Cedar, so I have to make sure to give his brother a little shout out." I told him I would, so there it is. There's a shout out.
Well, that was a great throw into the wind that time, by Lunt.
Yep, Lunt's going to keep it himself. Absolutely plows through the defense for a couple extra yards.
Yeah, they just faked the running back option there, and he keeps it on the quarterback keeper, and he was met in the hole by number 4 for Logan. That's Connor Peters, and he just gave him a little Cedar greeting as he came through there.
That's right. That brings up 3rd down and 6. Lunt looking to pass across the middle, has his guy. Solid gain there by Trayden Elliott up the middle for another U First Credit Union first down.
Yeah, great job. They run the double slant on the wide side of the field, and he took the inside receiver, Elliott, and he made a nice hands grab, avoided a tackle, and got upfield for 12 more yards. Great job.
Falls down on the 40 inside of Logan territory. So the Reds on first down. Lunt hands it off. Taking it right up the middle and falling down right back at that original line of scrimmage is Crenshaw.
That was a great job that time by Logan. Their middle linebackers filled the hole. Cooper Red, he's a junior. He's their middle linebacker. He was right there to greet him, bring him down for no gain.
2nd down, 10 to go. Still scoreless on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard with 7:24 left on the clock here in the first quarter. A little option handoff play, it looked like, as Crenshaw kind of wrapped up the ball, and Lunt decided, I'm going to keep that for myself. He goes right up the middle for a gain of about 5.
Okay, and if you notice, for the folks at home, Logan's got 3 down linemen, then they're putting a lineman right behind the nose guard, and they're scraping him off either to the right or to the left, and that time Lunt read the play properly, kept the ball, and got upfield.
So 3rd down, 4 to go. Handoff this time to Devin Crenshaw. He gets held up about a yard shy of the line to gain. It'll bring up 4th down, 1 yard to go.
It's going to be really close, Caden. I have no doubt Cedar will probably go for it.
And they will. That offense stays out on the field, and they're lining up quick.
That wind, you're kicking into the wind, that would be a challenging spot from there.
For sure. Especially for about a 47-yarder.
Yeah.
And you're too close. You don't want to punt it either, so might as well just go for it.
You got to go for it.
Looks like there might be a timeout taken. There is. Freddie's fabulous timeout taken. We will take a 1-minute break ourselves and be back with you for more here on the Fan Sports Network.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
So the Cedar Reds go for it on 4th down and 1 on a quarterback keeper, and Lunt gets that one. It's a U First Credit Union first down. Still scoreless here in the first quarter. Just over 6 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. But with a fresh set of downs and the Reds on the 30-yard line, let's see if they can push it forward and get some points on that board.
Boy, Lunt just needed a yard, and he got just barely a yard. That was
He
close.
got a yard and an inch maybe. So first down for the Reds. Lunt takes a snap, hands it off to Crenshaw. Devin Crenshaw around the left side, slides down after a gain of about 3 or 4.
Yeah, we got a penalty flag down, Caden. It looks like number 63 for Cedar. I think he's going to get caught with a hold.
Yeah.
So this one's going to come marching back.
Yep, sure enough, holding call against the Reds. So it will replay first down, and they will spot it at the 41-yard line. So all of that on that 4th and 1 play to get up to the 30, and it brings them right back to the 41. So 1st and 21 here for the Reds. Snap is away. Lunt drops back. Pass across the middle. Does he have Elliott? Oh, and it is incomplete.
Boy, you could really see the wind on that throw that time, Caden. That got hung up there, and Elliott slipped behind the defender for a little bit, but the ball just seemed to hang there in the wind, and very fortunate that that didn't get picked off.
Yeah, there's 2 defenders in the area. These Reds lined up again, looking at the sideline for that call on a 2nd down and 21. Lunt takes the snap, hands it off. Crenshaw up the middle, gets tripped up after a gain of only 2.
Yeah, it was a great job that time by number 4 for Logan. He was just kind of reading Crenshaw. That was Connor Peters again. Connor, he's just a sophomore, getting some nice varsity time. He's looked really good on a couple of stops in this second drive.
Now this Logan team, they finished up the season 5-5, and they did so with a very limited roster. They've been working with not a ton of guys out there on the sideline, but they've proven themselves to come out with an even record of 500. So that's not too bad. On a 3rd and 19 here as Lunt rolls out to his right. Passes across the middle. Does he have Elliott again? Picked off at the 4-yard line. Logan will take control of it. That was number 33, Ryan Lazari.
Yeah, that was a great job. Again, you see the wind factor right there, Caden. The ball, again, hung up in the air. I'm not so sure I like that play call because they rolled him to his right, and he's left-handed.
Yep.
He's got to turn his body all the way around, but you know, if anything, you can look at it like it's like almost as good as a punt and puts them inside the 5-yard line. But, man, you hate to give away scoring opportunities.
Absolutely. Well, if this Reds defense can hold out here on a U First Credit Union first down, then it won't be all for nothing here. So
well, that was a great play, as you mentioned, by Lazari. He read the ball well and high-pointed it, went and got it. So good play by him.
So again, still scoreless. Handoff up the middle, wrapped up immediately and pulled back down. That Reds defense ran that read very well on the run.
Well, we had Bryson Bennett in there again, as well as number 72. That's Damon Stuckey. And then a couple other Reds come flying in there. So they're being pretty stout up front so far. Looks like Cedar's just going with 3 down linemen and 4 linebackers.
Yeah. 2nd down and 9 to go. Snap is away. Rolling out to pass. Pass is out. And it is thrown incomplete out to the sideline.
Yeah, just ran out of real estate that time. It looked like he was trying to reach number 7. That's Andrew Thornley. And just kind of ran out of real estate, trying to squeeze that in there. You're mentioning, Caden, they're kind of limited as far as the number of players they got. We were told they canceled their JV schedule.
Yeah, Logan decided we're not even going to play any JV games. Let's just take the whole roster and focus ourselves on some varsity football here. And again, it's been decently successful. You know, they've ended up with a 9th seed. That's not too bad of a position to be in here for the Grizzlies. Snap is away, rolling out again to the right, pass out, blocked.
What a great play. Damian McGarvey dove right in front of the receiver and knocked it down with 2 hands. That was
Let's
beautiful.
look at this Holbrook Asphalt replay as McGarvey just lays his body out.
Excellent defense. Well, as you mentioned, Ken, you said if they could get a stop, they should get good field position. Logan's got a kick from the back of their own end zone, so this should turn out pretty good for Cedar.
And last punt, Cedar nearly blocked it. They got back there, so if they could do something like that again, and he almost gets it again. That one falls out of bounds around the 42. So Cedar will still keep it in. I guess they'll spot it at the 45, make it easy on us. And so Cedar will still stay in Grizzlies territory.
Boy, that was Aiden Puoha, number 80 for Cedar. Got his big left arm up there and almost blocked that kick. It was a high snap and allowed Aiden just enough time to almost get there. He missed it by a finger.
Yeah, it was a fraction.
Yeah.
It was right there. Well, the Reds take over on a U First Credit Union 1st down. Still scoreless on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard. Lunt to pass. Up the middle. Flag on the play.
Yeah, that was going to get a hold. It looks like they were trying to hit number 37 that time for Cedar, and he was trying to come across the middle. That was Jordan Raftery, and they grabbed a hold of him to hold him back.
Yep, so with the holding call, it will move the chains. It'll be a 35-yard line start here for the Reds on a U First Credit Union 1st down.
Again, I'm trying to describe their defense to the folks at home, but for Logan, again, they got 3 down linemen, a guy standing up right in the nose guard area, and then they're just blitzing the linebackers from every direction.
Yep. Rush up the middle by Weslowski. Gains a few yards on the play. 2 yards. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That was Ryan Lazari for Logan coming up and making a solid tackle there. Took the legs right out from underneath him, so kept him for a real short gain.
So the ball spotted on the 33. Reds take the snap. Lunt rolls out to his left. Gets the pass off to Crenshaw. Crenshaw gets a block. Right at that line to gain, goes out of bounds. Does he have enough for it? They'll say he's a yard shy. 3rd down and 1 to go now for the Reds.
That was a nice play that time by Lunt. He just found Crenshaw as he was rolling to his left. Again, that was an easier throw for him before they rolled him to his right and got the interception. This way, he was going in his natural throwing motion. It was real easy, and they picked up 8 yards.
So Lunt in the shotgun. Crenshaw on his right.
Oh, man.
Oh, no snap. That's going to bring it back now.
There's never an excuse for a wide receiver to be jumping off sides. Stockton Albrecht.
It wasn't even a jumping off sides. He thought the play was underway. He was halfway downfield.
He just wasn't even looking at the ball or anything.
No. He must have misheard on the count. They might have said, hey, it's a 2 count, and he took it in 1.
That's one as a coach, you just kind of go,
Yeah, you want that back, especially on a 3rd and 1 situation where we haven't really seen 1st down conversions happening today.
Well, and going into that wind, too, it's tough to throw it into that wind.
So, again, 3rd and 6. Snap is away. Lunt pass. Up and going high for it and drops down at the 10-yard line. Beautiful catch.
That's Ammon York. Yeah, that was He just threw it, and that was in front of Alan Lazari. It looks like we've got two Lazaris out there. We got Alan and Ryan, they're twin brothers for Logan.
Play is going quick. Crenshaw takes it all the way down to the 5.
Yeah, just a little 3-yard out pattern that time by Crenshaw. They hit him in the flat, and he picks up a couple more yards. So
yeah. Again, with the Reds now inside that Cache Valley Bank red zone, looking to score here with 2:45 left on the clock in the first. It's still scoreless, so if Cedar can do it first, that'll be a big step in the right direction for the Reds. Snap is away, keeping himself is Lunt. He's powering forward and in for the touchdown. Cedar gets on the board first with the quarterback keeper by Coden Lunt.
Boy, what a great job by the line that time on the left side. The guard and the tackle just made a big hole. 59. That is Trent Durbin. He just took his guy, moved him right out of the way, and just like that, Cedar's on the board with 2.5 minutes there in the first quarter.
Coming in for the extra point now is Edgar Hernandez Hinojosa.
For Lunt, Caden, that is his rushing touchdown. That is his 3rd on the year.
Well, that's not too many for a quarterback. Sometimes you see a few more. Sometimes, you either are or are not a rushing quarterback, and that's actually not too many for him. So that's a big play for Coden Lunt. Well, the extra point is good, by the way, so it is 7-0 now. The Reds on top of the Grizzlies on the Wilkeson's House Lighting scoreboard.
Okay, now I was just going to mention Lunt. He's a bigger quarterback. I mean, he's big, thick guy. He doesn't run especially fast, but he's powerful and strong. And so you're right. I'd be a little surprised that he doesn't have a few more touchdowns than that down around the goal line area.
Yep. Now, a reminder that you can watch this game on the fansportsnetwork.com or on CacheValleyDaily.com. Up in Cache Valley, your video experience is powered by Adams Wealth Advisors. Get ready again for that UD & Associates kickoff. UD & Associates, your local American family insurance agency in southern Utah.
Well, Kane, looks like they got Andrew Thornley back there to receive this kickoff, number 7. And I'm trying to get the number. I think it's Cooper Red, who's also back there on the far side to receive this kickoff.
The kick is away, and it's a low roller, and he slips, and it rolls into the end zone. Yeah, that was Cooper Red that you'd mentioned that took a little slip in the grass and let the ball roll past him into the end zone. So the Grizzlies will get the ball at the 20.
Well, we saw on the opening kickoff an unfortunate bounce for the Reds, and now you see another unfortunate bounce for Logan. So I guess the football gods have kind of played each other out now.
Yeah.
So now they're all even.
that's how football works. That's how sports are. It's a game of give and take sometimes, right?
Yeah. Well, and this turf too. It's a grass field, and it's a little beat up out there.
Yeah, it's been there a long time.
Yeah.
Handoff. Oh, and the pressure came right up the middle. Big play there by Bryson Bennett.
Yeah, Bryson's the middle linebacker. He just shot through the A gap and was able to hit the running back for a 2-yard loss. Beautiful job.
That was Titan Mason on the carry, and there was no getting through that. Bennett came out of there like a bullet out of a gun. Let's check out that Holbrook Asphalt replays. Bennett just read it perfectly and dropped him 2 yards.
Huge play.
That was one of the best passes we've seen so far today from either quarterback, if we're being honest. That was a beautiful pass. And
we threaded the needle between two defenders and it looked really good.
And it was, he had it in his hands. The second he turned, it was gone. Pond back to pass again. Pressure coming. Gets it off to Mason. Decent gain, enough for a first down, pretty close to the marker. It'll be enough for a first down by just a yard.
Great play call. They ran a little middle screen that time to Mason, and he did a nice job just following his blockers there at the end, just enough to get the first down.
So you first Credit Union first down here for the Grizzlies. Again, the Grizzlies still scoreless. The Reds up 7-0 on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard. Minute 40 left to go in the first quarter. So ball spotted at the 31-yard line. Handoff up the middle. Mason again gets about a 4-yard gain before taking down.
Well, they just run a little counter trap play that time. They faked to the one running back, come back to the other one, and they were able to get 5-6 good yards that time. They got good penetration, a good push that time, and picked up a great gain on first down.
So 2nd and 5. Snap is away. Handoff again. Enough for the first down. Finally brought down after a solid gain, but again, first down, moving the chains.
Yeah, this time they just sent Lang into motion, number 21, and he led the way kind of like a fullback would, and they went between the guard and tackle on the right side, and Lang pretty much paved the way for him to pick up 6 tough yards.
So first down, again a handoff up the middle, solid gain again by Titan Mason.
Again, Caden, they're going off the right side. Again, the right guard and right tackle. They found a weak spot there, and they're just, again, Lang is leading the way like a fullback would, and Mason's just falling right behind him, bounced it outside and picked up 7.5, 8 yards. They're kind of eating yards up right now.
Yeah, ball spotted at the 49, still in Grizzly territory, and it looks like they will walk this one off into the end of the first quarter. So again, the Reds lead after the first quarter. It's 7-0 here. We'll take a minute break. Be back for the second quarter with you on the Fan Sports Network.
That ends the first quarter play at the score. Cedar High Reds 7, Logan Grizzlies 0.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
Welcome back into the action. The Cedar Reds up on top of the Grizzlies. It's 7-0. The Grizzlies with the ball on the 49-yard line, looking to punch into Red territory.
Yeah, the offensive line is really starting to get off, and curious to see how Cedar's defense is going to react to this.
Pond fakes a handoff, passes away. Enough for a first down and a lot more. And then finally taken down around the 39-yard line. Good play there by Kai Lang.
Yeah, they just fake like they're going to run the outside tackle on the right side and roll out to the left and hit the fullback in the flat. And Lang picks up about 12 yards. So big gainers. They're picking up big chunks of yards.
Logan's moving the ball right now. It's quite impressive to see because, again, remember, they started off at the 20-yard line after that Cedar score, and they've just been marching ever since. So handoff up the middle. It's Mason again, and he's going to be wrapped up, taken down after a gain of 2.
Yeah, that time it looked like Mason slipped a little bit. He went to cut and went from his right to his left, slipped a little bit, and there was 2 defenders for Cedar right there for him to slow him down.
Now, again, this roster for Logan has a lot of sophomores, and Titan Mason is one of them.
Yeah, and I was looking at his stats. He averages over 5 yards a carry. He's got over almost 700 yards on the year. He's a good-looking back.
So on second down, snaps away, Pond. Looking to pass. Right at the middle, it's broken up. That's McGarvey again. That's his second breakup.
Yeah, they were trying to hit the big tight end, number 16 for Logan. That's Reed Olson. He's just a sophomore, but he's a big, tall kid, big target. But McGarvey just jumped up and knocked it out of his arms right at the last minute.
So 3rd and 8 now as this Cedar defense has made a couple of pretty good stops.
Yeah, Caden, I was just looking at the Logan roster, and there are a ton of sophomores, even a couple freshmen on there.
Yeah. So 3rd down here for the Grizzlies. There's the snap. Pond to pass across the middle. Has the same tight end again. Reaches for that first down, but I think he's just shy. They might give it to him.
I think they're going to
give it to him.
That was a great play call.
He stretched forward for it.
You don't normally,
again, Reed Olson.
Yeah, you don't normally see a middle screen to the tight end, but Logan sets it up perfectly. They had 3 blockers out in front, and he's got such a big wingspan. He stuck that right arm out there with the ball in it, and just enough to get the first down.
Yeah.
He's probably got, what, a 2.5, 3 yard wingspan?
That's what it looked like, right?
Man, Reed Olson, he's a big fella.
Yeah, he pushed forward to get the Grizzlies a first down, a U First Credit Union first down at the 30. Snap is away, handoff, Mason. Taking it to that left side, finally gets wrapped up and pushed out of bounds after a gain of 3.
Yeah, it was a good job that time by the Cedar defense. I'm trying to pick out the number over there. It's number 15 for Cedar. That's Hershey. He did a nice job. Didn't allow Mason to get upfield any longer. Mason did a good job getting through the initial hole, but tried to bounce it outside, but Hershey pushed him out.
2nd down, 8 to go.
Okay, and it looks like Mason's going to take a break and bring number 35, Bracken. Ethan Bracken's in now at running back.
And Bracken takes it. Gets wrapped up at that line of scrimmage.
That was a great job that time by the Cedar defense. Number 62 was in there, as well as number 70. So they did a nice job squeezing the inside there. I was going to tell you, Caden, Bracken for Logan, he averaged almost 5.5 yards a carry.
That's a pretty solid stat right there.
Between him and Mason, they average over 5 yards a pop. You can tell there's some explosiveness between the two of them.
Well, again, we talked with one of the coaches pregame, and he said, he asked, man, is the running game that good? He's like, the O-line is good. They create those holes.
Yeah.
That O-line is quick. They like to move their feet. So snap is away, looking to pass. Gets it right at that line to gain. It is enough for a first down for the Grizzlies as they step into the Cache Valley Bank red zone.
Yeah, that was just a nice little 7-yard out to David Odd. He's a senior, but he was on the short side of the field, and they just looked at him the whole way. They hit him on the break. Not much you could do on the defensive side there other than just push him out of bounds.
So it's U First Credit Union first down right at the 20. The Grizzlies yet to score. The Reds have 7 here in the second quarter. Snap away, handoff, dropped. Just shy of that original line of scrimmage to Andrew Thornley.
Boy, Kane, that was an interesting play call. They made it look like they were going to run a sweep, so they faked the sweep motion to the running back, and then they turn around and do an inside handoff to the almost like the tight end or the coming on an end around there, trying to get a little creative, but Cedar's defense didn't fall for it. They held them right there.
When he knew something was coming up, the quarterback got under center, and you just don't see that, so you knew there was something coming up that was going to be a little tricky, and sure enough, there's a little bit of some trickery on the handoffs, some fake handoffs going on. Again, under center is Pond. Keaton Pond hands it off. This is Bracken. Gain of about 4 or 5. They'll give him 4.
Boy, that time, Caden, they lined up. They had a tight end, and they put 2 guys right behind the tight end and the tackle. So you think, they're going to go to that side and run the ball. Well, no. They ran a counter play to the left side, to the short side of the field, and picked up 5 tough yards. So good play call. I'm curious to see what they can dial up here on 3rd and 5 as they're in the red zone.
So again, Keaton Pond goes under center. Snap is away. Play action. Rolling out. Pressure coming. And incomplete. There's a flag on the play, however.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to get a hold.
Maybe a hold.
Yeah, but looks like number 7 for Logan. He was trying to make an out route. That was Andrew Thornley. And it looked like, I think it was number 5 for Cedar. Tyler Ogden just kind of reached out and held him down on the ground. Was kind of holding him. So.
Yeah, so that will be moving the sticks closer towards that end zone at that. Yep.
Yeah, it's going to give him automatic
first down as well.
But that time, Logan, they went to the wide side. They rolled the quarterback out, and they flooded it. They took the 2 outside guys around him across the middle, and they were trying to get Thornley to come underneath them, and they just held him up. So it's easy call for the ref to see it for the holding penalty.
So first down from the 9-yard line, 1st and goal situation. Pond takes the snap. He hands it off up the middle as Bracken. Short gain of a couple yards.
Yeah, that time they were trying to, again, fake the sweep motion, and just Bracken hits the hole hard, but it was good resistance by the Cedar defensive line that time. Number 59 for Cedar, that was Trent Durbin, initially got there, and then a couple others. So good job stacking it up. Caden, we're already down to 6:58 left in the second quarter.
Yeah, this game's kind of just moving right along. They're keeping the ball on the ground a lot, which is, again, pushing this game further and further along. So snap is away. Play action, pass into the corner, and overthrown. Intended receiver was number 16, Reed Olson. That brings up 2nd and 7.
That was just great coverage that time. That was by Damian McGarvey. We mentioned his name a couple times, as well as number 8, Dante McGarvey. So 2 brothers are right there in coverage together for Cedar. So we got a couple of brothers on Cedar. We got a couple of brothers on Logan. Got to make sure I don't get them all mixed up.
That's the battle, isn't it?
Oh, my goodness.
6:36 on the clock. 3rd and 7. And Pond in the shotgun. He goes lone backfield. Pass out to the side. Is Mason. Mason gets down to about the 7, falls out of bounds around the 5.
That was a great
They'll spot him at the 6, so it's 4th down.
That was Dante McGarvey on that stop. That was a well-executed play by Logan. They did trips to the wide side, and then they sent Mason in motion to that wide side, so you got 4 receivers for only 3 defenders. And they did a nice job, Logan did, just bottling everything up and forcing them out of bounds.
Well, they'll go for the field goal try here. The kick is away.
Oh,
and
he missed
it is no good. So the Grizzlies stay scoreless, and the Reds will take over on downs from the 7-yard line, 6-yard line.
Caden, we were down so close, and when you're down and on that far hash line, that's a harder kick than you think.
Yeah, well, hey, it makes the goal smaller, technically.
Well, the distance is so short, you've got to be really concise about where you're putting that ball. And
right.
Especially on that far hash line, it's a hard kick to make, and, you know, it just goes by the uprights. So
they bring the ball out to the 20 on that off of that field goal try, and the Reds offense out on the field as Lunt takes a snap. He will hand it off and taking it down in the backfield.
Boy, it almost
just swarmed up by a bunch of Grizzlies.
Yeah, almost looked like Logan knew what the play was. I mean, big 53. He was in there like out of a cannon. That was
Topu.
Topu, yeah, Talicio Topu. But what a great job. He just read that play perfectly.
Well, at the forward progression, they didn't lose more than 3, so it's 2nd and 13.
Well, they got a favorable spot.
That was pretty favorable. Snap is away. Looking to pass is Lunt. Pressure coming, and he gets wrapped up and taken down inside the 10.
There's our guy again, number 53.
Yes, Topu.
Topu. He's having a heck of a first half already.
Yeah, wrapped up, taken down at the 9-yard line. So big defensive plays, 2 in a row by the Grizzlies. Leaves the Reds at a 3rd and 20 situation here.
Topo. He's a big, thick young man out there, and he just beat the right guard for Cedar and brought him right down, Lunt right down.
Lunt takes the snap. He's dropping back. Pressure coming. Gets the pass off. Big game by Devin Crenshaw, who loses the ball on the ground when he hit the deck, but they will say that he was down before the ball came loose. So it is 4th down and 5 now. Huge game by Crenshaw, but just not enough. And again, look who's coming in after Lunt.
Yeah.
That pressure's getting to him.
Well, yeah, you mentioned, guess who? That's Topu again. And Lunt, if he hadn't got rid of that ball, he would have been sacked right at the 1-yard line. So great pressure again.
Well, and heads-up play by Lunt to get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
And in doing so, put them in a decent position so they're not backed up against their own goal line as they'll punt it away here. The punt is off, and it's a pretty good one.
That's great.
Picked up at the 30, kind of bobbled around, but finally brought in. It's Cooper Red taking it across to the 45 is where he's taken down.
Yeah, he out-kicked the coverage there a little bit. I think the little help of the wind and whatnot, but Red did a nice job avoiding that first tackle and then got upfield. So they'll have good field position. Logan will start this drive with 4:11 left here in the second quarter.
Well, last drive started at the 20, and they made it all the way down to the 6-yard line. This one will start at the 45, so a lot more favorable with 4 minutes, 11 seconds left on the clock here in this first half of play. Now, again, another thing to keep in mind is that quarterback is kind of facing into the sunlight a little bit over here. He takes a pass over to... big hit. And the flag does come out. A couple flags come out. But the pass was to Kai Lang.
Boy, that was number 16, and Reed Olson that laid a block. But Olson put his arms up as he went to block him. I don't know. They're saying that's a blindside, but watch, Caden. He's got his arm. Well, he kind of led with his chest.
He led with his chest, whether the arms were up or not. They might.
Boy,
I saw what he was trying to do by putting the arms up because he kind of knew his blindside block. He didn't want, but the flags come out either way. So
yeah, he was like saying, hey, I'm not trying to blindside him, but I'm going to light him up.
But I'm also still going to do it. Yeah, I mean, either way, it still was a blindside block. It doesn't matter whether your hands are in the air or not. If your body's coming after a guy and he can't see you coming from the side of him, it's still a blindside block. So
makes the call a little bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah. So it will push the Grizzlies back to the 35. It'll be first down again. They'll put it actually on the 36. That's 1st and 21. Snap is away. Pond is getting some pressure on him. Mason snags the pass. Gets upfield. About the 41 or so.
Yeah, it was just a nice design play that time. That Pond, he dropped back. Instead of a 7-step drop, he took a 10-step drop, allowing the Cedar rush to get upfield, and so he could just throw right over the top of it. But it was a great job by the Cedar defense just rallying to the ball after a small pickup there.
The Reds still leading this one 7-0 on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard. 3:45 left to go in this first half of play. It's 2nd and 14 as the Grizzlies will take a timeout. So Fabulous Freddy's timeout. This will be their first of the half. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout ourselves and be back with more here on the Fan Sports Network.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
So the Reds lead 7-0 over the Grizzlies coming out of our Fabulous Freddy's Fabulous Timeout. Fabulous Freddy's Car Wash, 2 locations in St. George, one on River Road, one on Bluff Street. Stop on in today.
Well, Caden, we're just flying through this first half. I mean, I look down and we're done with the first quarter, and I blink and now it's 3:45 left in the second. We're used to having these 3-hour games. I'm like,
I know.
This is just flying by.
We're not even an hour into the broadcast right now.
I know.
We're an hour into the whole broadcast, and that includes pregame. And this one's moving right along. The Grizzlies offense still on the field. Handoff, Mason. He's going to be wrapped up, taken down for a gain of maybe 3.
Yeah, not much there. That was a good fill that time by the middle linebacker, Bryson Bennett. And then number 26, he came flying in. That's Jake Ellis. They did a nice job up front, not giving much of a crease for him to run through. And then the 2 middle linebackers just cleaned it up.
3rd down, 11 to go here for the Grizzlies. They've been in 3rd down situations before, and they've found their way out of them. Sometimes it's due to flags, sometimes it's due to their own power. Let's see what they do on this 3rd down, 3rd and 11, with about 3 minutes left to go here in this first half.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised they look to one of the tight ends, that big number 16.
Yep.
He seems to be the favorite target there.
Coach Bennett says, we're going to take a timeout as well. We got a couple left. Let's take one. So they take their own Fabulous Freddy's Fabulous timeout. We'll keep it right here through this timeout break. Coming up at the Rally Stop halftime show, we will talk about this first round of the playoffs, looking forward to the games coming up next, and of course talking about the game here in front of us between the Reds and the Grizzlies, and a little recap of Hurricane Skyview as well. All that coming up in the Rally Stop halftime show, so stick around through that.
I think what they need to do is they need to look for Andrew Thornley. He's their leading receptions leader on the year. He's got 45 receptions, almost 900 yards, averages over almost 20 yards a catch. So he would be kind of the guy I would key on, or again, Reed Olson. He's the big tight end as far as who I would key on if I was the Cedar defense.
Wouldn't be a bad idea for sure. This offense getting set up again. Coming out of the timeout. Again, setting the scene, 3rd and 11. 3:01 left on the clock here in the second quarter. Reds up 7-0. Snap is away. It's low. Snap picked up. Pond looking to pass.
Oh.
Bobbled around. Not enough for the first down. Goes out of bounds at the 50-yard line is Reed Olson.
Boy, Caden, how did he get that ball in there? I mean, he threw it in between.
I thought it was going to be picked. I was ready to say it was picked. Let's watch this Holbrook Asphalt replay here. Again, right past the outstretched hand of Jake Ellis and into the hands of Reed Olson.
That was great concentration by Olson just to bring that in, and bobbled it for a second, but great hands. But as you mentioned, just short, about 5 yards short of that first down.
They'll punt it away. Picked up at the 15. This is Elliott taking it across. He's
got some room, Caden.
He's got room. He's already down to the 30. He's at the 20. At the 10, and falls forward.
They're saying he's out of the 1.
Was out of bounds, pushed out of bounds at the 1-yard line. There's a flag back on the 38, though. Yeah, we could see this coming all the way back.
Boy, that was, unfortunately, if you're a Cedar fan, that was such a great return by Traden Elliott. He made the first guy miss, then he cut outside, made another guy miss, and unfortunately, this one is coming back.
Yeah, Traden Elliott, beautiful return, but yeah, the flag will push it all the way back. He picked it up at the 15. That could have been about a 74-yard return.
Boy, I got to give a shout out to our camera guy. He was doing some nice work down there. I saw him. We could see clearly he was out of the 1-yard line. Great work by our camera crew.
McKay Meacham up there.
Yeah, McKay
running the camera,
doing a great job. I love our Region 10 sports guys. They do such a great job streaming our games, and shout out to them.
Yep, Dusty and McKay on our broadcast here tonight. And I know for the Snow Canyon game coming up, we'll have Matt and we'll have Lacey working the camera. So, well, this gets pushed back quite a ways for the Reds. What could have been at the 1-yard line will now be at the 14-yard line.
Huge penalty
in their own territory. So that penalty cost them, if we want to get real about this, that penalty cost them 86 yards.
Yeah. That was an expensive penalty.
That is a very expensive penalty, indeed. Especially this late into the half.
Yeah,
with only 2:29 left. Now the officials are conferring. My guess is just double checking ball placement, make sure that the flag happened where they thought it happened. Again, he picked the ball up if it's where you pick the ball up, he did pick the ball up at about the 14-yard line. So
yeah, but the penalty happened on I thought of the 34 or 35, right?
Yeah. So if they push it, is it a 15-yard penalty?
Well, if it's a blindside hit, it'd be 15. If it's a hold, it'd be 10. So I'm a little surprised why it's all the way back to the 14.
I know, you'd think it would only be the 20. So again, I think they're conferring, trying to make sure that the call is correct and that the placement is correct is really what I should be saying, right? Making sure that placement is where it needs to be.
You don't think they're going over dinner plans?
Maybe. Saying, hey, let's hit up Sizzler after.
Sizzler or Applebee's or.
Yeah. Well, they do move it up, so my guess is they were going over ball placement and not over dinner plans. Well, they put it at the 23 now.
That's the right call because.
Yeah. Well, like you said, you thought it happened around the 35, 10-yard penalty, right? I mean, put it at the 23, probably happened at the 33. Perfect. Yep. That's kind of where we assumed. All right, so UFirst Credit Union first down for the Reds. Again, 2:29 on the clock here.
Infraction for running the sideline infraction.
Well, let's see if they start to air it out, Caden. They got the wind at their backs. 2:29 left here in the half. See if they can get a quick score before halftime.
Well, the Reds haven't had possession of the ball much at all in the second quarter. And they haven't been able to take much advantage as Lunt keeps himself and is taken down immediately for a loss.
Yeah, that's 21. Kaimani Lang. He plays both ways. He plays middle linebacker on defense, plays fullback / tight end on offense. He's a tough dude.
Yeah, we've called his name a few times already this afternoon. So 2nd and 11 at the 22-yard line.
Cedar doesn't seem to be in any rush to.
Not at all, especially with a running clock right now.
Yeah.
And I wonder if this is their strategy to say, hey, we're up, let's just not throw the ball away. Lunt dropping back to pass. Has a guy in the middle, Elliott, and Elliott sees it fall in front of him for incomplete pass.
Yeah, Elliott tried to run a double move. He was doing a corner and then went straight on a fly route. And Lunt tried to do a pump fake and try to get the safety to bite, but really there was pretty good coverage that time by Logan, so really not much there.
Yeah, he was kind of in double coverage out there on the deep route. So it will bring up 3rd down and 11 to go. .139 left in this half. Lunt keeps it himself and again slips on that grass. That's the 3rd time today we've seen someone just slip and fall under their own power.
The old turf monster showed up again. So
yeah, you don't want to see someone slipping on paint, you know.
If you're Logan, I was going to say they should call timeout, which they just did. So they're going to have a minute 32. Try to get something going here. They could kind of get something and get maybe a field goal or a touchdown at the half. They get the ball back. Yeah. So
now Lunt is kind of holding that hip of his. So during this Fabulous Freddy's timeout, we'll keep it right here as we're getting close to that halftime. But yeah, Lunt kind of.
Did he just go down on the awkwardly?
He just must have fell down a little weird. He's like, that wasn't comfortable. He was jogging off the field. I obviously expect him to stay out there in the game, but he was just kind of rubbing that left hip of his that he slipped and fell onto. So
looks like they're checking out his knee as well.
And he does have a brace on that knee.
Yeah.
He does have a brace on that knee, so that could also be the situation as the punt unit comes out. Hernandez Hinojosa ready to punt this one away.
Ooh. They almost got a block there.
But it's a long punt. Goes over the heads of the coverage. It's down at the 5-yard line, rolling down even more. They pick it up at about the 3.
What a punt. My goodness.
Wow. He punted that one from about the 5 and made it roll to the 5. That was an impressive punt.
And if you're Coach Bennett for Logan, you're just shaking your head at your returner saying, you got to catch that ball because, 1, it runs time off the clock, and 2, now we've got a huge huge hole that we, all the thoughts of maybe getting a quick score before half, that's making it real difficult.
Well, if let's say you're used to saying, hey, we'll line up 40 yards past the line of scrimmage or whatever, the wind is blowing that direction.
Yeah.
Line up 50 to 60 yards back. Like, those kicks are going to be coming, and when you have two guys back there to receive, throw one of them up at
one
40-yard line,
yep.
Put another one at the 25.
Yep.
Handoff, this is Bracken, takes it up the middle. Pretty good gain there by Bracken, enough for the first down. So that'll move the chains, but it will keep the clock.
Well, they'll stop it temporarily till they get the change going. But that was a big hole between the right guard and the right tackle.
Bracken again, up the middle.
Same play,
wrapped up, taken down.
10 more yards. He's gotten 19 yards just in those two plays right there.
Two plays alone. Under a minute now here in the first half. Bracken again, up the middle. This time the Cedar defense knew what was coming, and they put a stop to it.
Well, he still got 4 yards, so he's going to pick up the first down. But they've done a nice job getting out from the 3 down to the 27, and they're hurrying up here.
Yeah, again, Bracken on the handoff up the middle. Wrapped up and taken down big time there by Jason Ziegler.
Yeah, Ziegler shed his block and then put the hurt on him for, I was going to say a loss, but right at the line of scrimmage.
So second down, 10 to go, 30 seconds as the clock continues to run, and I think they'll wait it out now at this point. So the Reds with the lead 7-0. Snap is away. Bracken again. Up the middle into the pressure. Ball's on the ground.
He got it back.
He got it back.
Boy, Caden, they didn't run one pass play. Did you notice that?
Not one. No, it's just rushed up the middle.
Yeah. And that'll be the half as the clock goes off. Your score at half: Cedar Reds 7, Logan Grizzlies 0.
Well, we'll take a 3-minute break. Coming back on the other side, it'll be our halftime show here from Cedar High School as the Reds lead, as you mentioned, Keith. It is 7-0, the Reds over the Grizzlies. So 3-minute break. We'll be back on the other side here on the Fan Sports Network.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Welcome into the Rally Stop halftime show. The Cedar Reds lead 7-0 over the Logan Grizzlies. Caden Formaster here and Keith Curtis on the broadcast tonight. Shout out for our Cache Valley listeners. You might know it as the Planet Fitness halftime show.
Oh, yeah.
Either way, it's our halftime show here from Cedar High School. And we want to thank our sponsors up in Cache Valley again for giving us the coverage up there with Adams Wealth Advisors, Great Basin Graphics, McDonald's, Logo Shop, Napa Auto Parts, Planet Fitness, Old Grist Mill, Preston Watts, Collision and Glass, Express Auto and Tire, Advanced Heating and AC, New Horizons Beauty College, D&D Auto Salvage, Cache Valley Auto Care, Les Olson Company, and CacheValleyDaily.com. Thank them for sponsoring in the Cache Valley area. So as we head into our Rally Stop halftime show, let's talk about this game so far. Again, just, very few points on the board, 7-0. We've had one score from the Reds on a quarterback keeper by Coden Lunt. But Keith, what have you seen so far today?
You know, I thought we might see a few more explosive plays. We haven't really seen that, though. Both defenses have come out and played really, really strong, and I think the wind is a bigger factor than what we led into, in the pregame. We definitely saw that on the Lunt interception, and a few throws that way. If you're going south, it's going to be tough sledding because that wind is pretty brisk.
Yeah. There haven't been tons of flags, but the flags that have come out have been impactful. We talked about the one right there towards the end of the half where on a kick return, on a
beautiful punt return,
on a punt return, could have been taken 85 yards. Instead, a penalty takes it all the way back, and they start things off at the 23-yard line in their own territory instead of going down and starting things at the 1-yard line right next to their goal line, right?
Well, and Logan's had the same thing. They got down inside, the 5-yard line down there too. Unfortunately, they weren't able to get it in, but then missed that field goal too, a little chip shot, but at a real difficult angle. So
and with the wind.
Yeah. So it's been a couple of opportunities on both sides that I think that they could have capitalized on, but it's still a one-score ball game, and if you're Logan, you're thinking, hey, we're moving the ball now, running the ball. We've seen them. They've figured out the Cedar defense. You started to see them really picking up big chunks of yardage, and so I think they'll go into the halftime and say, you know what, we're getting a rhythm now on offense. We just got to be a little bit smarter. We get down into the red zone, we got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. You're exactly right. Taking advantage of the red zone opportunities is extremely important in a scenario like this, where this is still anyone's game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of football left to be played, and when you're looking at, you know what, Grizzlies are scoreless, but the Reds have only scored one.
Yeah.
I mean, you are one touchdown away from this being a tied game, or hey, a 2-point conversion away from the Grizzlies taking a lead.
Exactly.
I mean, you are one possession away from this game being completely unraveled and switching things around with the Grizzlies lead. You don't know what's going to happen. If you are the Grizzlies coach right now at halftime, what are you telling your guys in the locker room?
I'm pretty happy. You've done a nice job defensively. You really haven't given up much other than that one drive, and I think the defense has played really good. They got to eliminate some penalties and take advantage of the red zone opportunities, and the way they manage the game and the way that they control the ball shortens the game.
Yeah.
So if they can somehow come in and get a score and mean, like you said, either tie it or come up a point on it, that's only going to put that much more pressure on the Reds because of the style that they play.
Right,
it's grounded out. The clock's running all the time. I mean, we flew through that first half. I couldn't believe we were almost at the end of the second quarter.
And it's because we've seen a big ground game. We've seen a lot of stuff happen on the ground, and passing hasn't been too big of a factor. I've been waiting to talk about a Jason Baum long bomb here with Bay Equity Home Loans, right? And we have yet to have any sort of a passing play give us more than 10 yards. You know, it's been very light in the passing game there. We talk about our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game. Of course, Bose Auto Parts has your crucial part when you need them with locations all across southern Utah. So far, I'd say the crucial part in this game has just kind of been the defensive stops. These offenses have to just keep on pushing through and getting first downs. We're seeing a lot of third down opportunities today, and I'd like to see less of those and more first downs from both of these teams. No, they're just not moving the ball all that much.
Well, Caden, one play that I think jumps out that I think could have been a key play is that pass to Thornley where he threaded the needle and it hit him in the hands and he bobbled it. He was wide open. He would have broke it for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was huge.
And I think that could have changed the whole perspective of how that first half went. But
yeah, and I say there's two of those because you have one for Cedar, one for Logan. The one for Logan, like you mentioned, he was ready to go and get downfield to score a touchdown. The other one was, of course, the penalty for Cedar on the punt return. I'd say those two right there,
those two
big,
plays.
crucial plays that could have ended in scoring and didn't.
But that's why we got a one-score game, and there's you look back at it. That's why I say if I'm Logan, I'm just saying, okay, guys, look, we were one play away from tying this score up. We're right there. It's only 7-0. We just gotta continue to play hard, and we're starting to pick up decent chunks of yardage in that run game. And I think they'll stick to that game plan. Now for Cedar, they've got to come out and they got to go into the wind this second half. But then in the fourth quarter, they'll get it going with the wind. So it'll be interesting to see how they manage the offense that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a short break here in the middle of our Rally Stop halftime show. Take a quick 2-minute break, and we'll be back on the other side to wrap up the Rally Stop and Planet Fitness halftime show here on the Fan Sports Network.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
There we go. Here you go.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Guest Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Honestly, if I'm Logan. Welcome back into this one. Grizzlies and Reds. The Reds, Cedar Reds, currently up on top of the Grizzlies 7-0. We were just talking about this just barely in the break that, hey, you know what? If you're a fan of the Reds, currently leading in this one, they win this. They have the chance to go on to the next round to play against the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Grizzlies, same thing. Whoever wins this one will go on to play against the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. I was just about to say, if you're the Grizzlies, you're going to have to make 2 trips, so you better make it worth it.
Yeah.
You better make it worth it and get those wins. So
they might as well just call the school districts and say, hey, put us up for a week.
Yeah, can we do school from down here for a week?
Okay, and just a quick score update. I know we've talked about Hurricane and Skyview.
Yeah.
Skyview is all over Hurricane this afternoon. It's 41-6, and that is in the third quarter. So Skyview really taking it to Hurricane.
Yeah, Skyview and Hurricane. Skyview, of course, talking about Region 11 teams for a minute, Ridgeline and Skyview seem to be kind of the more favorable schools out of that region right now. And Skyview's kind of showing why against the lower ranked Hurricane tonight with a 41-6.
Now the way that plays out, saying Skyview hangs on, who would they play? Would they play? Is it's Dixie, or would they play? Do you know which one that they have to go to?
Off the top of my head, I don't, but I'm going to look it up right now so that I can. So I don't give out any false information. So we're talking about the Skyview Hurricane game, right?
Yeah.
So the winner would move on to face Desert Hills.
Okay.
Yep. So the winner of this game, as we mentioned, would go on to face Crimson. Ridgeline Pineview will face the winner of Snow Canyon Green Canyon. Desert Hills will face the winner of Skyview Hurricane, which at this point Skyview has it lined up ready to go. So Skyview will come down and play Desert Hills next week. And then Dixie will host either Mountain Crest or Bear River. So one of those two Region 10 schools will be coming down and facing off against the Flyers.
Okay.
So there you go. That's kind of how it's matched up. With Ridgeline and Pineview. Ridgeline, of course, being the higher seed, they would host the winner of Snow Canyon Green Canyon if they get that win over Pineview. So we'll see. That's kind of the interesting one, right? Because they have to wait and play it out first. So the other three, we already know who's hosting because those three teams got the bye, which means that they're going to host. So yeah, we're waiting on those ones a little bit, but that's where things are shaking out right now. Again, the score here is 7-0 the Reds over the Grizzlies as we're coming out of the Rally Stop halftime show. Thank Rally Stop for being a sponsor with locations in Cedar City and in St. George. So make sure you stop by Rally Stop, especially you guys coming down from Cache Valley into the Southern Utah area for these games, especially next week. We know there's going to be 3 of them in Southern Utah at least. So make sure that you're coming on down and stopping at Rally Stop.
Kate and I got to admit, I stopped there before the game, grabbed myself a little soda, and fueled up. So love swinging in.
Might stop there after the game. Stop there after the game. But well, we have about a minute left in this halftime here. The Reds, Grizzlies getting ready to start things off. Now remember, the Grizzlies won the toss, so they will get the ball to start things off here in the second half of play, which is big for them. They got to just get downfield and score.
Yeah, they do. They're going to have the wind against their back, so I think it's a great opportunity for them to take advantage of that, as well as, come out with a little bit of fire from, making their adjustments. And then I think we, if they get a quick score, we got ourselves a ball game, and as you know, anything can happen from there.
Absolutely. Well, play about to get underway. One thing that we are going to be looking for here in this half is we're going to start looking for, who might be that Hearst Ace Hardware player of the game. Who's, are we going to have more contenders for a Morgan Pest Control defensive play of the game? A lot of those kind of things we're looking for here in the second half. We've already seen some big ones already in the first half, especially defensive plays. We've seen some very good defensive plays from both sides. Both schools have been great defensively.
Yeah. Right now, it'd be hard to pick a player of the game. I mean, maybe we'd have to pick a defensive player or whatever.
We might have to.
It might come down to a big play or an interception or something here. So that's the confetti flies here.
They got confetti rolling out here in the stands at Cedar High School.
Making it hard for us to see the players getting out on the field.
Well, players coming out from halftime. They did extend the halftime a little bit since Cedar was a little tardy coming out of the locker room there. So, well, what is one more thing that you're looking for in this game? For me personally, if you don't mind me starting here, is I do want to see some more offensive production, specifically in the passing game. I know that both of these teams haven't historically been huge passing teams, but we know Lunt has the arm. We've seen it, especially when they're facing the other direction and they're heading to the north side of the field from the south side, and that wind's at their backs.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a little bit more in the passing game. If anything, just to throw off some defenses. Defenses know the run game is strong. They're probably going to be waiting for that specifically, but maybe some play action might be kind of nice.
Yeah, I think it will definitely loosen up the defense if they could hit a couple of pass plays. And I think it goes for both sides, too. For Cedar, I think they got to get Connor Hardman involved. He's their leading wide receiver. He's got 30.
We've seen one pass in his direction, not even caught. It was just one in his direction.
So I'd look to try to get him more involved. And then we haven't called Devin Crenshaw's name very much. I mean, he hasn't gotten a big run, and it's kind of been bottled up. So those are the two I would look for there. And then as far as for Logan, I think they just got to keep running the ball with their two big horses, Mason and Bracken, and just get in the red zone and get that baby in there.
Hey, and Reed Olson, tight end, he's a sophomore, but he's a massive sophomore. Let's be honest. That kid is big. He's got some size on him. So, and he seems to have decent hands.
Yeah.
So again, if like we're talking about in the passing game, maybe get him involved a little bit. Kai Lang, we've seen him have some big plays as well. So, and then of course on the defensive side, we talked about Tolosi Topu. He's been huge.
Yeah, he's been unstoppable.
He's getting back there to Coden Lunt a lot and putting a lot of pressure on that quarterback. So if we can get a little bit more of that from Topu, it'd be huge.
Well, I think for Logan too, they got to get Andrew Thornley involved. You know, he had that one drop, but if you can get him involved, I mean, he's got almost 50 catches on the year, just under 900 yards. He's your playmaker. Get the ball in his hands.
Absolutely. Here we go into the third quarter, into the second half of play. Again, the Reds kicking from south to north to start things off here on a UD and Associates kickoff. This is Parker Kusifer for the Reds kicking it away. And here's the kick, and it sails past the back of the end zone, bringing the ball out to the 20-yard line for this Grizzlies offense to take over.
Well, I think Kusifer loves that wind behind his back. He put that one 10 yards deep in the back of the end zone, as you mentioned.
Yeah. So again, with the ball starting off at the 20-yard line on a U First Credit Union first down, you have Keaton Pond again back there at quarterback. Grizzlies offense lined up, ready to go. Snap is away. Play action, pressure coming. Pass is off. Gets it down to about the 25-yard line to Andrew Thornley.
Again, I like the play call, Caden, that they roll him out. They fake the run, roll him out to the right, and then they just hit Thornley underneath. They got to get the ball in his hands more, and he picks up 6 yards. So I like that coming out of the halftime, you know, good positive play and, you know, something they can build on.
Yeah, good hands there from the senior. Second down and 5 to go. Pond takes the snap, hands it off. Big run up the middle, big hole. Huge gain by Mason. Still on his feet past the 50. Gets dropped down at the 43-yard line. Huge play by the Grizzlies.
Boy, Caden, he went off the between the left guard and the left tackle, and I don't think anybody touched him for 6 or 7 yards. And then he ran over a couple of Cedar Reds and drug a couple Cedar Reds. What a run. Impressive run by Mason.
Flag on the play. And a run by Mason again, about a 5-yard gain, but we'll see what this flag call may bring it back.
Getting a hold down there in the trenches. Logan's coach does not like that call, or he's yelling at one of the linemen or something. Yep.
It is a holding call against the offense. It will bring it back.
Boy, I can't get over that last play by me. That's the
biggest play we've seen so far. Potentially our Appliance Wholesale Plus Playmaker play of the game. Big play so far, especially if this can end in a scoring drive for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, but you just hate to follow that up with a holding call. Now
it's tough.
20 now.
Puts the ball back in the Grizzlies' territory. Another flag
Now you got a false start.
Another false start.
Offsides, actually.
Offsides on the defense, though.
I'm shocked that they didn't let the play run out and they stopped the play.
Yeah. Well, a little stroke of luck there for the Grizzlies as it moves the marker up a little bit more. It's still first and long, however. Ball now into the Reds' territory. It's placed at the 47-yard line. 1st and 14 as we're just making our way into this third quarter. It's a handoff up the middle, wrapped up, and taken down a yard shy of the line, the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was a good job that time. They made a nice hole for on the left side again. They're hitting that left side, but good fill by Cedar to stop them after a 4-yard gain. So second and 11 coming up.
Oh, yeah. Forgot we had to replay first down a couple times.
But you're still seeing decent chunks of yardage being, taken advantage of by Logan. So,
well, and every time it's been on the ground, it's these running plays. They're creating space. They're getting in there in these on these big plays. Pressure coming to the quarterback. He evades it and tries to push forward back to that original line of scrimmage. He gets a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Boy, that was great pressure that time. That was Matthew Villareau who came in, number 52, and he had him stopped, but he was able to evade him, and Keaton Pond got forward for a couple of yards, so that's a positive yardage.
Tyler Ogden headed off the run and was able to help take him down there at the 43-yard line, where they originally started this on 1st and 10 is now 3rd and 10.
Okay, now I'm guessing they'll probably go for it if they don't pick it up here.
Why not? You're in do or die. It's playoffs. You got to have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Snaps away. Look at a pass. The pressure's getting there.
Got him
passes
open.
away, wide open. Played. He drops it.
Oh, my goodness.
Wide open. No one around. Hits the hands and falls incomplete. David Odd on the play.
Odd. I can't explain it other than it hit him right in the hand, and he was trying to run before he caught it. He was wide open on the left sideline, and he hit him with a perfect strike, too. He just tried to run before he caught it.
Yeah, I let it slip right through his hands, hit off the chest plate, and fell to the ground. So it will be 4th down, and they will be punting this one away on a 4th and 10. Understandable. Again, kicking into the wind. Fair catch at the 14. So the Reds offense comes out onto the field for the first time here in the second half of play. The Reds leading this one 7-0. See if this offense can get back down the field and extend their lead on this drive. 9:01 left to play here in the third.
Yeah, okay, now it's just going to say, I think they need to take advantage of this wind. Just to get another score on the board and expand that lead.
Well, if they can get Albrecht out there and Connor Hardman, like you'd mentioned, and get some of those guys out, as this is a handoff play to Elliott. Elliott past the 20. It is a U-First Credit Union first down. I believe it's right close to there. Let's see if they end up moving the chains. They do. So it will be a U-First Credit Union first down. Let's check out that Holbrook Asphalt replay.
Yeah, it was a good lead block by number 30.
That's Crenshaw. Yeah, Devin Crenshaw.
Well, now Crenshaw, they give him on the quick hitter. He gets 7-8 yards right off the guard behind the right guard. And so here it is, 2nd down, and they're going no huddle real quick.
Yeah, they're saying let's get downfield and let's just keep pushing into this defense here. So 2nd down and about 1.5, we'll say. Lunt takes the snap. Hands off. It's Elliott again. Has some room to run and taken down after a gain of about 9 or 10.
Yeah, great job that time. Elliott's just finding a hole out there as he's stringing out the play, plants that right foot, gets upfield, and like you said, picks up 9-10 yards.
Yeah, Traden Elliott getting it done. A U-First Credit Union first down. Cedar still in their own territory on the 43. Snap is away. Back to pass is Lunt. Lunt gets the pass away. It's picked off. Titan Mason picks it off. And he goes out of bounds around the 44.
Boy, I know Lunt wants that back, but there was really good pressure by Lang that time. Number 21, we've called his name a lot for Logan. He forced that pass a little early, and great instincts by Mason stepping in front of that ball and And here Logan is. They got a little momentum.
And good coverage by the Grizzlies as well. They did have those receivers locked up.
That was great coverage. It's almost like they knew where the play was going on that rollout.
They spot the ball at the 45-yard line in Cedar territory, so the Grizzlies offense looking to see if they can make something move here. Keaton Pond takes a snap. He hands it off. It's Bracken up the middle. Gain of 5 or 6 past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, again,
give him 5.
Good up front on the right side. The guard and the tackle just got a good push, and Bracken just running hard, 5.5 yards. That's his yearly average, so there you go.
So second down, 5 to go, 7:33 on the clock in the third quarter. Snap is away, handoff up the middle, and taken down at the original line of scrimmage. A gain of about a yard, actually.
Yeah, that was 62. Jason Ziegler, we've called his name a couple of times, on the nose right there. He's the right tackle. He did a nice job just bringing him to the ground with no gain.
3rd and 4 for the Grizzlies. Again, they are now in territory where I would say on a 3rd and 4, if they go for a play here and gain nothing on it, you might need to go for that on 4th down.
Yeah,
snaps away, and they take it down in the backfield. Big stop. That was number 24, Jaden Orr.
Boy, Jaden Orr, he just shot through the left guard hole and brought him down behind the line of scrimmage. So great job by the Cedar defense.
And he is hyped. That will bring up 4th down, 7 to go. The punting unit does come out onto the field. Again, like I say, in a 4th and short situation, maybe go for it. 4th and 7, not so much right now. There's still plenty of time left. It's a 1-score game. Don't force anything. And the punt is away. It's a shallow one. Falls in and rolls. Picks it up at the 5, slips the defense, and is taken down at the 13.
Yeah, that was Stockton Albrecht, number 3. That actually bounced, and I think it touched
his hands because he dove on that. He knew what was happening.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to let that one slide and give the Grizzlies the ball inside the 5-yard line.
Albrecht's like, I got to get on this. If not, that's a fumble. And so he picked it up and was able to pick up about 8 yards. So good recovery by Albrecht.
Yep. Well, this Cedar offense takes over. Lunt takes a snap, keeps it himself, finds a hole, rushes up it for a gain of about 5. Bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, they fake the wide receiver sweep action, and then Lunt just goes right up behind the big guard and picks up 5 tough yards. Good hard running.
Snap is away. This time they go with the sweep. Taken across the side is Waslowski.
Oh, great play. That was Mason.
Stuffed up.
Yeah, Titan Mason on that stop, number 2. So he can run the ball. He can also play the sweep. Look at him just fly up there on the
he read it well, and Crenshaw even tried to make the block on it, but
it's kind of a half-hearted effort by Crenshaw, I think.
Well, big chunks of yardage. Now, we've seen Logan probably get the most yardage. I don't have any official stats in front of me today, but I would say that Logan's probably moved the ball the best. It's just Cedar has made the stops when it counts most.
Yep, you're absolutely right.
So U First Credit Union, first down. Snaps away, handoff. It's Mason. Had some decent room to run and gains about 6.
Yeah, they just run a little stretch play to the left side, and Mason just carries people. And again, you can see why he averages over 5 yards a carry. He just keeps those big legs churning and, you know, picks up 7 easy yards. He's 5 yards downfield before he even got touched.
Yeah. So the Reds still on top, 7-0 on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard.
Yeah, we got 3:55 left in this third quarter. It's just flying by.
Snap is away. It's caught. And take it down past the 50-yard line for the first down and more. That was number 21. That was Kai Lang again.
Yeah, again, Lang, he just runs a little 5-yard out, and Pond does a nice job hitting him in stride, and he picks up, just turns upfield, picks up about another 5 yards after that. So great play call as the Cedar defense was dropping back into coverage and picks up the first down, and here they are moving.
Ball in the 49 in Cedar territory. Snaps away, handoff, stuffed up right at the 50, no gain.
Boy, he got upended. He tried to stop and cut to his right, but at that point, number 5 for Cedar, he came flying in there from the middle linebacker spot. Tyler Ogden did a nice job putting an end to that run.
Second down, 10 to go.
Well, this is a big play right here because they could really use, you know, they get in second or third and long. Logan, they've kind of struggled to bog down, so they really need a positive yard play right here.
Snap is away. Pond back to pass. Some pressure coming. Just gets it off and bobbled again by David Odd. That's the second time he's been targeted and he's dropped passes 2 in a row now. That's got to be tough for that young man out there.
Oh, it's tough. That's 2 in a row that have hit him right in the hands. They need to tell him to spit on those gloves, get them a little more stickier.
That's right. Rub your sweat on it a little, you know. That's what you do with your basketball shoes, right?
That's right. Keep it going,
sticky.
Right?
Yeah.
Keep it sticky. Yeah.
So it's 3rd and 10 for the Grizzlies.
Well, that was such a great play call. They ran all the receivers on the wide side deep, and Odd was running 5 yards downfield almost horizontally, and he would have got upfield and picked up positive yardage had he just caught the ball.
Snap is away. Dropping back is Pond. Pass across the middle, batted away. One of the linemen tried to pick it up, but wasn't able to. It's 4th and 10.
Yeah, he was trying to hit Mason, the running back, who was doing a little circle route out of the backfield. And he's almost fortunate that, Pond is fortunate that got batted down because I think it might have got picked off. It was really good coverage.
It's our Bear Paw of the game with big old SWAT. Bear Paw voted best breakfast and best of Southern Utah. The punt is away. Pretty decent one picked up by the Reds. Slipping, but able to stay on his feet is Elliott, and he gains about 5 after picking up the punt. Takes it out to, they place it at the 18-yard line.
Looks like they're giving it a flag on Cedar too, a little sideline warning. I think that's their first one, so they won't be flagged for it, but
it's something that they are going to have to look out for. Now it looks like they are moving them back.
Oh, they are going to?
Yeah. So they will start things off at the 9-yard line. So they took it half the distance to the goal. It is...
oh, no, they called it a personal foul.
Interesting.
I thought it was a sideline warning, but...
Yeah, I missed that.
That's a huge penalty because that moves them all the way back inside the 10, as you mentioned.
Yeah, that's tough. Long field to go, especially for both of these offenses have struggled to fully move the ball all the way downfield. So let's see what the Reds can do on this one. Getting U-First Credit Union first down. Snaps away. Pressure coming quick. He gets it off to Elliott. Elliott has some room to run up the middle. He's already at the 30, 35. Wrapped up, taken down at the 39-yard line. Traded Elliott. Huge gain for the Reds.
We haven't seen a play like that, a big hitter like that. Elliott did a nice job. Just a little wide receiver screen, and then he makes the first guy miss him, and he's off to the races. If it wasn't for the free safety, he would have gone. So great job of run after the catch by Elliott.
U-First Credit Union first down from the 40-yard line. Snap is away. Rolling out to the left is Lunt. Lunt, deep pass out. Does he have Elliott again? And is overthrown, incomplete.
Boy, he had him open. If he could have got a little air under that ball, allowing Elliott to run under it, he would have walked into the end zone. So you see they get one big pass play, and it kind of opened things up there, Caden.
Yeah. Well, and I like that play on first down as well because it gives you a few more to try something different, but
at least gives it a threat, whereas before we hadn't really seen much go downfield. So
right.
Got to keep the defense on their toes.
So 2nd and 10, a minute 38 left here in the third. The score 7-0. The Reds currently leading on top on the Wilkinson's House of Lighting scoreboard.
Boy, Cedar
calling the play dead already.
They were short a wide receiver. They run a guy on, and he has to go clear to the wide side of the field, and they're down to the last second, so they have to burn a timeout.
Yeah.
That could be something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, that's tough. So yeah, with that is a Freddy's Fabulous timeout. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout ourselves. Be back for more here on the Fan Sports Network.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Coming out of the Fabulous Freddy's Fabulous timeout, the Reds on top 7-0. They had to burn one timeout like you'd mentioned as we headed into that one. 2nd and 10, minute 36 in the third. Lunt takes the snap. He drops back. Passing deep. Incomplete, overthrown again.
He's going for Ammon York on the deep corner pattern and just overthrew him just slightly. I think the wind had a little bit to play in that because it extended the ball a little longer than I think Ammon thought it was going to go.
Now we saw, I believe it was Cedar Crimson Cliffs. Was that the? And we saw a lot of play from York. He was out there quite often, getting involved, and we just haven't called his name nearly as much tonight.
No, he had a great game against Crimson a couple weeks ago, and they had a nice rhythm going. And we just haven't seen that. Really haven't seen much of a rhythm from Bond yet.
Snaps away. Lunt's going to keep it himself, and he gets about 7 after jumping over Titan Mason.
Boy, that's the hardest we've seen him run right there on the afternoon. He took it, and I thought he made his mind up a little bit earlier. He hurdled the guy at
that's what I said. Yeah, he jumps over Mason and gets all the way down there, and they're going to go for it on a 4th and 3.
They might be trying to drop.
Trying to make him jump.
Had a little bit of movement up there.
And this late in the game, it's we're under a minute left here in the third. Cedar's going to burn another timeout here. They'll only have one left.
Wow.
But I think they just kind of wanted to see how they'd line up, and if they can get those 3 yards, great. But they may end up bringing out that punting unit. We'll see. Again, they have a lead. It's a 1-score lead. You got 1 quarter left to play. What do you do in this situation?
Okay, I'd punt it. I'm a little surprised they burned a timeout. I would take the 5-yard penalty. You got the wind at your back. Give yourself, a chance to punt it after that. But you may need that timeout. That timeout could come back to haunt you later in the game.
Yeah. Well, and we've seen their punting game is pretty strong.
Yeah.
So I would say don't even don't worry about field position. You know, the problem is they've been dealing with punting from the 10-yard line. But you know, if they were to punt now, they're punting from the 45 or the 35, I should say, right?
Yeah.
Realistically, so.
Yeah, that's why I was a little surprised they'd burn a timeout, because they've been punting it from such long distances all game. It's like, well, 5 yards here wouldn't have hurt you.
Yeah, Hernandez Hinojosa out there too, punted away for the Reds. And it is a good long punt. And he bobbles it, picks it up. Flag on the play already, taken down at the 20.
That was great coverage by Jake Ellis, number 26, making the stop after just a 5-yard gain. But I think you're going to have a block in the back against Logan on the 15-yard line. So that's going to move him down to the 10. Yeah.
Yeah, sure enough, block in the back that goes against the offense. Or should I say the return team? Wasn't offense at the time, but it will go so that this offense has to start things off they're putting them all the way down to the 7.
So it's a 15-yard penalty, so it'd be half the distance. That's why. So, yep.
And it's probably from where the spot of the foul happened. So.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
So instead of it being at the 20 where it ended up, they gave him half the distance from where it happened. Snap is away. Pond hands it off. Tripped up is Bracken after a gain of about 4.
Boy, if Bracken, he just hit the left side between the center and the guard there and had a little hole. And if he hadn't got tripped up, he would have picked up another 4 or 5 yards before he got touched. So it's a good thing that Cedar got a little bit on him, because it could have been a big hitter. And I think
they're going to walk it off and just say, let's head into the 4th quarter. We're not going to run a play right now. So with that, we'll take a minute break ourselves as we head into the 4th quarter. The Cedar Reds lead 7-0 on the Fan Sports Network.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. First General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
Heading into the 4th quarter here from Cedar High School, the Reds lead 7-0 over the Grizzlies. Caden Formaster here, Keith Curtis on the broadcast tonight. After this matchup, Snow Canyon and Green Canyon will take place here on the Fan Sports Network. You can watch that game and the Ridgeline Pineview game over on the fansportsnetwork.com. Short pass, flag on the play, so it'll be a short gain over to number 15, Cooper Red.
Well, there's a nice play. It was an in route by Red, and he dove for that catch. I think they'd give him a first down, but it depends on that penalty marker. Are they going to call a hold or what they got over there? Oh,
false start?
Yeah.
So it'll push Logan back even further. They were already starting off at the 8-yard line. It pushes them back only a couple yards, really, but.
Well, they were inside. They were about.
Well, that's true, because it was 2nd and 7. Yeah. That's right.
Brecken had that nice run that they got tripped up on, and then but now they got to move it backwards. So 2nd and 12.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see Logan air it out a little more now that they got the wind at their backs.
Snap is away. Pass up the middle.
There we go.
He's got him. It's a first down and more. Dropped at the 25-yard line. Good play there by the Logan Grizzlies. It went to Andrew Thornley again. We've called his name.
We are Utah's financial outfitter,
move the chains for you First Credit Union first down.
Well, that was just a great play design. They sent the trips to the wide side, Thornley a deep in cut, sent another guy on just a straight streak, and another guy up the sideline. So it stretched the defense. Thornley found the hole, and Pond hit him in stride. So great throw and catch. Big pickup for Logan.
Ball placed at the 26-yard line for the Grizzlies on a 1st and 10. Just under 11 minutes now in this one to play. Pond rolling out some pressure, gets tripped up, taken down for a little bit of a gain, actually. He'll pick up a yard.
Yeah, that was Matthew Villaroe on the stop, and number 52, as well as number 37, Jordan Rafferty on the stop there. So good pressure. Cedar's changed their defense. That time they went with 4 down linemen. They had been going with 3, and so they're trying to mix things up here to make it a little more challenging for Logan in the second half.
So 2nd down, 9 to go for the Grizzlies. One receiver on either side. Under center. Fakes a handoff. Goes for the pass. Pressure coming. He's running it out. Gets all the way down to about the 35. Let's see who they end up spotting him. They will spot him just shy of the 35.
Yeah, that was a good open field tackle that time by number 26, Jake Ellis. Pond did a nice job stepping up in the pocket, eluding the rush, and if he got past Ellis, he would have. It was man-to-man coverage. He would have had a huge gainer. So, great stop by Ellis to prevent that first down from happening.
Grizzlies set, ready to go, keeping it himself, trying to go up the middle. He's stuffed up by Bryson Bennett and the rest of the Cedar Reds defense. Was it enough to move the chains? I think it was.
Yeah, it's going to be real close, but I think they got it by half a football length. So
now the Pineview and Ridgeline game has already gotten underway. And Pineview currently trailing to Ridgeline 10-0. You can, again, watch that game over on thefansportsnetwork.com.
They get started a little early, huh?
Yeah, I think they pushed that one up to 5 instead of 6.
Oh, okay,
so.
Gotcha. I got to know my schedule a little better.
Well, originally they had it clocked in at 6 o'clock, so. Handoff again up the middle. A lot of room to run is Bracken. He gets enough for the first down.
Boy, that was a great job by the left guard and left tackle for Logan. They just manhandled Cedar up front, and they made a huge hole. I mean, Bracken didn't even get touched for 8 yards, and then he falls forward for 2 more. So 10 yards on that pop. Great job by that offensive line for Logan.
So First Credit Union first down, snaps away, handoff again, and Bracken pushing forward 8 yards or more again. They'll put him at 7.
Okay, and he just puts his head down and runs hard. He's a great complement back to Mason. Mason is more of your scat back, whereas Bracken, he's just nose
your
down.
bulldozer.
Yeah, he's going to run you over. He runs hard.
Well, and that's what the Grizzlies need right there, is they're still scoreless. Reds on top 7-0. And they've broken through again into Cedar territory. Ball now on the 47.
Okay, and we're under 8 minutes to play.
I know, it's crazy. Snaps away, handoff again. Bracken stuffed up right about that line of scrimmage. They might give him a yard.
Yeah, that was great penetration that time by Matthew Villaroe. We've mentioned his name a few times, as well as number 8, Dante McGarvey. He was in on the stop, so 3rd and I would say, what, a long 2.5, 3 yards?
Yeah, pretty close to that. Well, they put the ball back on the original line of scrimmage, actually, of the 47 from that last play. So it is 3rd down and 3.
That was a little unfavorable spot, in my opinion, for Logan.
I thought so, too. I thought they should have got about a half yard further in, but
yeah,
that's just me. Keaton Pond under center. Takes the snap. The pressure coming right up the middle. He rolls out to the right side to pass. Pressure coming. He's going to get sacked and taken down. That was Matthew Villaroe and Bryson Bennett in on the tackle.
Boy, Aiden, he had number 16 wide open. Reed Olson, the tight end in the flat. I just don't think he saw him soon enough. And by then, the rush was there. And what a huge loss. That's a 10-yard loss. Logan's going to have to punt that away.
No, that's tough break for the Grizzlies. I thought they were going to keep on marching. They've just been doing so well pushing that ball through. High snap, quick punt. It's low.
Got running into the kicker.
Yep, flag, and it rolls into the end zone. Oh, that's a break for the Grizzlies right there.
Well, it'll be interesting to say, will this be a personal foul running into the kicker, or will this just be a 5-yard penalty? If it's a personal foul, they'll get an automatic first down.
Yeah. We're looking at the coach over there.
They must be giving them the 5-yard one. Saying,
yeah.
You want to re-kick it or what?
Or take 5 yards off of the play. And they went and talked to head coach Bart Bowen for the Logan Grizzlies.
Well, it looks like they got
Yeah, so running into the kicker is what the call is. So it's a 5-yard penalty. They'll place the ball at the 15 since the ball rolled into the end zone.
Well, and you think, that's a smart play by Logan's coach, in my opinion, because you still got 6 minutes left. They got to go into the wind. If you can get a stop, that punt's not going to go very far.
No, and if you can keep them pinned back as far as possible,
So
set that penalty. And
right call there.
Snap is away. Lunt fakes the handoff, keeps himself up the middle. Pretty good gain. Gets out to about the 21.
Yeah, nice job by Lunt just finding the hole. They fake the wide receiver as far as the spread look goes, and then he just finds the hole and gets upfield and falls forward for about 7 yards.
Now, so far tonight, we've only had one Findlay Hyundai touchdown with the Reds.
We're not filling the bus up very much.
No. But either way, it is at least one donation.
Yeah, that's true.
For Neighborhood Connection. So, snap is away. Keeping himself again is Lunt. He's going to get stuffed up this time. Crew Kennington comes in there and puts on a lot of pressure to keep Lunt from going any further.
Yeah, nice job by Kennington. Just filling the hole there and stopping Lunt dead in his tracks. So, this is a key third down right here, Caden. If you're a Cedar fan, you need that first down to keep that clock rolling. And if you're a Logan fan, you want that ball back.
Yeah, on a 3rd and 3 situation here. We'll see what Cedar decides to go with. I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep it on the ground and try to... Oh, but they do go for the pass play. And Elliott loses the ball.
Well,
Trayden Elliott, the intended receiver.
Okay, and that was just a poorly thrown ball that time by Lund. He threw it behind him. It's hard for the receiver who's running as fast as he can to stop on a dime like that. And unfortunately for Cedar, they're going to get a 3 and out and have to punt.
That's tough break for the Reds. They of course still lead this one 7-0, but right now you're kind of in do or die territory where Logan's going to go all out on you. They're not going to release any pressure. They just want to get downfield. So keep the ball in your possession is big right now for either team.
Well, and Logan needs to catch this ball on the fly so it doesn't roll. And
it was a tough break with the wind. It's going to go out of bounds at the 48, 49 or so.
Yeah, that's the net of about 22 yards on the punt. So
that's a big break for the Grizzlies right now. Let's see if they can capitalize on that, keeping the ball in their own territory on the 49.
Okay, now I'd like to see him, meaning Logan, if they run out in that trips look and that pass play where they hit Thornley on that deep in route. I think if they went back to that, they'd have some success. They got the wind behind them. That might be something we look for here.
Absolutely. First and 10, First Credit Union first down for the Grizzlies. Snap is away. Pond passes over to Mason in the flat, who gets taken down immediately by Damian McGarvey.
That was just a great read by McGarvey. They tried to hit Mason in the flat on a quick hitter, and McGarvey was all over that. Loss of 3.5.
Back to the 47, second and 14.
So they'll give them that half and call it 2nd and 14 with 4.5 minutes to go. Now, Grizzlies do have all their timeouts, so they can run some clock here a little bit.
I think they got to go more upfield. They got the wind at their backs.
Yeah, they gotta launch that ball out as Pond drops back. His receiver's going out across the middle, and it is thrown down low and incomplete.
Okay, and I think what we're seeing here on the Logan side is you got a lot of these guys going both ways, offense and defense.
You get tired?
You're starting to see it slow down a little bit. Just can't get any separation right now. For your folks at home, Ridgeline has taken a 3-0 lead over Pineview. So a quick score update.
That's already extended out. Last I saw, it was already 10-0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
10-0 for Ridgeline.
3rd down, 14. Pond to pass. Pressure gets to him. He rolls out of it, passes out, and it's in and out of the hands of Reed Olson, incomplete. Olson jumping up for it and slipped out of his grasp.
Boy, Pond did a nice job eluding the rush. Olson just got to come down with that. That was it right there for the taking.
Man, on 4th and 14.
I'm a little surprised
this late into the
Pond.
game on a or on a playoff game.
I'm a little surprised they're not kind of going for it. Maybe we'll get a fake punt right here. Nope.
Well, the punt is away, so it is legit, and it's going to sail into the end zone. So be brought back out to the 20. That gives the Reds the ball with 3:58 left to go. Now, if the Reds can, last time around they just gave it to Lunt and let Lunt quarterback keep it for the first 2 plays, and maybe we'll see them do that again. Maybe we see them give it to Crenshaw. We'll see what they do, but I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep it on the ground and run as much time off as possible. If you can run some time off and convert a first down, that'd be big. You don't need to score right now. You don't need to score yet.
It's two first downs.
Crenshaw takes the ball. He's out past the 25, close to that line to gain. See if they give it to him or not, but he gets real close to another U-First Credit Union first down.
Yeah, nice job by Crenshaw. They just handed it off, hit the right side of the line, bounced it outside, got about 8 yards.
Yeah, they'll give him a 2nd and 2 for the Reds now.
The only problem is he went out of bounds.
Yeah, he went out of bounds and stopped the clock. But if they can convert on first down here.
Trying to draw Logan off.
Draw a little offsides. They do that hard count where Lunt takes the big old clap. Pass outside, overthrown for Elliott. Elliott was open, just a little past his outstretched fingers.
Yeah, Lunt overthrew him. I don't know if it's a product of the wind, thinking he's got to lead him a little more than he did, and it was just too far. But Caden, again, why are you throwing the ball when it just stops the clock?
Yeah. In this situation where it's a 1-score game and you have 2 yards to go,
you need two
running plays. Just go 2 running plays to get 2 yards.
So now this if they get a stop here, Logan, they're right back in it.
Yeah, and it's going to be a handoff. Crenshaw takes it around the side. He gets enough for the first down as he falls down at the 30-yard line. So they will move those chains. Reds catch a break. It'll start over.
It's going to be a holding penalty.
Oh, and there is a flag on the play. I didn't even catch that. Good catch there. Good eye.
The umpire was looking right at the lineman saying, no, that's not good, son.
Wow, so that's going to bring it right back again.
So that'll bring up 3rd and about 15.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Because it's from the spot.
Right, and we'll see where they end up pulling it out. About 12.
So a huge play. I mean, they had the first down, but now they got to go 3rd down. They need a big, big play right here.
Snap is away. Lunt dropping back. Looking to pass, gets it downfield.
And he got him.
Got him, Hammond York. Past the 50, down past the 40, out of bounds.
Caden, we've been looking for that play to York. We haven't seen it all day, and there it is when you need it the most. But a smart play call. They roll him out to the left, Lunt, and York gets in between the 2 defenders and comes up with a huge grab.
Goes out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Hammond York. We'll give him the Jason Baum long bomb.
The bomb of the play
it's
right
our
there.
Bomb of the
bomb of the day.
Jason Baum with Bay Equity Home Loans. Make sure to give him a call. when you're in need of talking home loans.
Boy, that was a huge play. But if you're Logan, you're not out of this. If they can get a stop here, you still got 3:14 left and 3 timeouts.
Yeah. They readjusted that clock a little. They gave them 3:22 left. So
got a little home cooking on the clock over there.
Yeah. First Credit Union first down for the Reds inside of Grizzly territory now. Lunt takes the snap, keeps it himself, out to that left side, decent gain, flag on the play again.
Yeah, I think it's going to come back again, another 10 yards for a hold. So.
Yep, it will.
Someone needs to
The Reds are already, they're like, yep, we know. We're moving back.
You got to remind Lunt, too, on that quarterback keeper, stay in bounds. Don't go out of bounds.
Right. This is all, it's not about scoring right now. It's about just running time off the clock. And the ball, they've already got the ball far enough into Grizzly territory that
they got a long ways to go,
especially on a 1st and 10. But now it's going to be 1st and 21.
Well, okay, and if you're Logan, you gotta get a stop here. No more first downs. If I'm they called their first timeout now to stop the clock, because if not, Cedar could have came out and ran another 30 seconds off the clock before they snapped the ball. So smart play or smart call by Logan's head coach there to get that clock stopped. But they have got to rally to the ball if you're Logan to stop them. If you're Cedar, 1 first down and this game's over.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
all it would take.
Absolutely. Well, as you mentioned, Grizzlies take a Freddy's Fabulous timeout. And in doing so, we want to take this opportunity to thank, again, our sponsors in Cache Valley. You can catch this game on CacheValleyDaily.com as well as theFanSportsNetwork.com. Let's thank New Horizons Beauty College, DD Auto and Salvage, Cache Valley Auto Care, Les Olson Company, and CacheValleyDaily.com as a few of our sponsors for tonight's game. Now, again, the Reds on top, 7-0 on the Wilkinson's House Lighting scoreboard. 3:15 left to play in this one, but that penalty brought him back. It's a 1st and 21 situation right now for the Reds. Ball at the 48-yard line. Snap is away. Keeping it himself is Lund off the left side. Big gain of about 10.
Yeah, but Caden, he goes out of bounds. So
again.
That stops the clock. Someone needs to remind him. 9
seconds. He took 9 seconds off the clock, and it'll stop.
You got to stay in bounds, big fella. And that's what they're telling him, stay in bounds. And he's nodding his head.
Yeah, I know. Well, and it's hard because once you get on that outside, that defense wants to push you out of bounds.
Yeah.
And it's hard to try to keep your momentum in bounds. So
that's where you got to say time and place. Even if you get 3 less yards, you got to get on the ground.
It's 2nd and 10. Crenshaw keeps it this time. He gets wrapped up and taken down. That was a big play by Crew Kennington.
Called his name a couple times this second half. Kennington playing real tough from the second that left middle linebacker spot.
So a timeout called the one time that they do keep it in bounds. Grizzlies call that timeout. Smart play to keep the clock stopped as much as you possibly can. We'll take a quick 30 seconds ourselves, and we'll be back on the other side of this timeout here on the Fan Sports Network.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
That's good.
That's really good.
The Reds leading over the Grizzlies 7-0. Just under 3 minutes to play coming out of this Freddy's Fabulous timeout. 3rd and 11 as the Reds were dropped short on that last play. Snap is away, and Lunt on a draw, hands off to Crenshaw. Crenshaw rolls off of some would-be tacklers and falls forward for another 4 yards or so.
Yeah, Logan
still will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they call their final timeout, so they're going to have 2.5 minutes left if you're Cedar. But if Cedar's, smart, they'll punt the ball and try to pin it inside the 10-yard line. Even though you're on your own, 31, you want to make them go as far as you possibly can.
Yeah. When you think with the wind, that would be possible right now.
Absolutely.
Again, with that last timeout taken by the Grizzlies, the Reds still have one more timeout in their back pocket, but on a 4th and 4 from the 30-yard line. Yeah, I mean, if you can get a 20-yard punt out of this right now and put it inside the 10, it'd be great.
Let me ask you this, Caden. Do you go for it and try to get the first down and end the game, or do you punt it 20 yards and try to pin them inside the 10?
I could see doing either. Part of me says, this is the playoffs, go have some fun, just go for it. But then part of me also says, this is the playoffs, play it safe and punt it. Here's the thing, if you punt it right now, and it does end up in the end zone, they get the ball at the 20, it's a 10-yard difference. If you can pin it inside the 10, great. Either way, you can give them the ball back. But Cedar says, let's have fun. We'll go for it on a 4th
Yeah, here we go. So this is the ball game right here for Logan. If they can get a stop.
They started this in a 1st and 21, so they are moving the ball right now. Lunt taking a clap of the hands trying to draw that defense offsides, but defense stays put.
They might be just trying to get him to draw and take a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah. Elliott in motion. Takes a snap. Lunt's going to roll out. Pressure coming. He's going to keep it himself, and he will fall short.
Yeah, great play by Keddington that time. 54. He turned him back inside, and then they had number 53 run in there and finish him up. So Logan's going to get the ball back. They're going to have to go about, 65 yards or so?
Yeah, they got a good chunk of land to go here. Yeah, about 68 yards. With 2:38, no timeouts. That's plenty of time to do it. But again, they are kind of more of a run team, so they're going to have to get the passing game involved here. As Pond does drop back to pass. Pressure coming, gets pass off the middle to Mason. Titan Mason is dropped down at the 30-yard line, a yard behind, a yard or two back. It'll bring up 2nd and about 12.
That was Dante McGarvey on the stop. They tried to run a little screenplay that time to Mason, but McGarvey read it perfectly.
Under center is Pond. Pond's going to hand it off up the middle. Mason slips one tackler, takes it out to the left side, and runs out of bounds.
Boy, I'm shocked they're running the ball on. Now it's 3rd and about 11, and you only got 2 minutes left.
Now, again, they do run it out of bounds. That will stop the clock, and maybe they're just trying to play it safe instead of trying to have a rushed offensive play call there. They want to take things a little slower. So the Grizzlies will come back to the line of scrimmage on a 3rd and 11.
Well, they got to be thinking of at least 2 plays here. You know what I mean? Because they got to have a first down or it's over.
Again, the Reds lead 7-0. Snap is away. Pond to the outside. It was an underthrown pass, but still caught by Cooper Red.
Red lost his footing, got up just in time to catch that ball, but it was a little bit short, so it's 4th and 3.
This is all or nothing right now for the Grizzlies. They got to get a first down here. This could be the end of it for them. Snap is away. Looking to pass. Pressure. He's rolling out. He's going to have enough for a first down and a lot more. He's going to run out of bounds at the 40. Big gain right there of about 15 yards, 20 yards for the Grizzlies.
Great pressure that time by the Reds. They flushed Pond to his left, and he was able to see that it was man-to-man coverage, so he got outside and got up the sideline, picked up 20 yards. So here they are, first down with 1:39 left from the 40-yard line. Well, we thought we'd have a little, fireworks at them. It just took to the last couple minutes here.
It is a close one here. We appreciate you guys joining us on this matchup. 1:39 left to play as Pond looking to pass. Passes outside.
Boy, you had
two receivers just getting stuck on each other. That was Andrew Thornley and Reed Olson.
They were like in the same spot, and Olson went for it and kind of blinded Thornley, or like he almost couldn't see it.
Well, he almost kind of went over the back of Thornley. Thornley and Olson struggling to communicate there on that play. So 2nd and 10. Ball again at the 40-yard line in Cedar territory. Again, a score here and a field goal could push this game maybe into overtime. Snap is away. Pass outside. Picked!
No.
Oh, nearly picked.
Boy, that time, that was
a big play right there by Tell Hershey.
Yeah, Hershey had it in his hands. Pond just reared back and threw it without even really looking at the defense. He's trying to hit number 15 for Logan. That's Cooper Red, but threw it a little behind him. That was almost game over.
3rd and 10. The incomplete pass stops the clock at 1:30. Snap is away. Pond drops back to pass. Passes deep.
Got a chance.
Looking to the end zone. Incomplete. And the pass interference flag comes out.
McGarvey had really good coverage, but then at the last minute, he puts his arms on him.
He just needs to put his hands in the air. It was underthrown anyways.
All he had to do was go straight up, and it would have been a no call.
Yeah, it was overthrown. It wasn't going to get in his hands anyways. He should just let it go, but Thornley reaching out for it. Pass interference call comes. It will be an automatic first down.
Well, and for Logan, that stops the clock and gives them 15 yards. So
fresh set of downs. It gives them a lot right now. This is the closest we've seen them to Cedar territory. We haven't seen anyone hop into the Cache Valley Bank red zone
in the second
for a while.
Yeah.
So we're finally seeing a team get close here as they are lined up now at about the 25-yard line. Snap is away. It's a handoff. Mason up the middle.
Huge hole.
Big gain into the Cache Valley Bank red zone. It will keep the clock running, though, so they got to hurry it up here as they pass over the 15-yard line.
Yeah, they'll stop it temporarily, but now they wind it up.
Snaps away again, a handoff. It's Mason again taking it out to the outside, and he'll go out of bounds at the 10.
Boy, I'm a little surprised they're running the ball, but smartly.
It's what's working for them, though. So you got to do what's working. If the passing game isn't going to get you there.
Mason bounced it outside. He avoided one tackler. If he got tackled in bounds, though, they would have lost probably 20 precious seconds. But
yeah, and I would say right now, if you're this close to the goal line, I don't mind doing the run game at this point.
Well, yeah, now you've got 2nd and about 6 or 7 from the 11-yard line. So you got the full playbook open here. Run, pass. It should all be on the table at this point. But if it was me, Logan, they've done a nice job kind of catching Cedar off guard. Maybe you spread them out and then hit them with on a quick hitter with the running back off the left tackle or right tackle. They've had real good success with that throughout the day. I don't know. What way would you go, run or pass, Caden?
I still say I think the run's working. You got to go with what's working right now. They've seen too many that are too close.
Well, they have to understand if that's the case. If they run the ball, then they got to get right back up on the line and start and go again. Because if not, they'll kill too much time.
Yeah, and that is the thing too. You got to understand it's a game of give and take right now. If you're going to give that run game, you're taking clock away.
Yeah.
If you don't get into the end zone and if you
or a first down
or get out of bounds, you know, one or the other, right?
Yeah.
So you have to watch for all of those things as this Logan offense comes back out onto the field.
Well, it looks like Logan's going to go. They're going to go bunch into the short side of the field, the wide side. Oh, there they go. Send a guy in motion.
Yeah, they're going to send Thornley out there. Snaps away. It's low on the ground. Passing out to the corner of the end zone. Overthrown, incomplete. Second down is unsuccessful, brings up third down.
That time they were trying to hit Red down the left sideline, and he was covered by Hershey, but he had a half a step on him. If the ball would have been placed a little bit better, he might have had a chance. Third down now, 3rd and 7.
Well, this is some good playoff football here. I know it's been low scoring. We've seen we've seen more punting than I would like to see. But anytime you have a team that is fighting for a chance to stay in the playoffs, that's what you want to see here from these Logan Grizzlies. They're putting the fight in right now.
Absolutely.
Still scoreless for the Grizzlies, but they're looking to get on the board, tie it up with the Reds, maybe take the lead. The Reds at 7, Grizzlies at 0. With 1:02 on the clock. Dropping back to pass his Pond out to the outside. He has this guy. It's Mason. Mason goes out of bounds. It'll bring up 4th down at about 3.
Yeah, but that's a smart play. They just hit him on a quick out route. But he got out of bounds to stop the clock. But now they can either run it or pass it.
Well, and Tyler Ogden and Damian McGarvey getting over there to make the stop before they can get that first down and fresh set of downs is big. So 4th down here. At this point, it's like you almost have to go. You got to go for it all right now. Whether you going for a first down is yeah, it's great. You get a fresh set of downs, but that first down marker is pretty close to that goal line.
Well, if it was me, I'd almost run it. I think you get more yards running it with the success you've had, but we'll see.
4th and 3, they're going to pass it out, and it's incomplete. Cedar will take over on downs.
Boy, that went off the hands of Thornley that time, and he had a half step. I don't know if he'd have picked it up. It would have been close, Caden.
Had he got it, he was on the first down mark, or at least close to it. He would have at least got the first down.
I was thinking of the goal line, you know.
Yeah, the line to gain was about the 4 or 3 yard line, 4 yard line, 3 yard line.
He was right there.
And he hands on it at the 5. He was right there. So big stop by this Cedar Reds defense. Potentially, I'd say this is our Bose Auto Parts crucial part of the game right now for the Reds, is making that stop.
Absolutely. You got to go with that one because, well, that's the ball game right there.
Yeah, that's the ball game right now.
Game over.
With 50 seconds, you kneel it. You kneel it twice and you're good. So the Reds with 7-0 will take the knee. And once it gets under a certain amount here, they can take it one more time, and it'll be game over. So
what a
change of events here.
You got to admire the heart, though, of those Logan kids. They have played their guts out. Most of them are playing both ways, offensively and defensively, and to come up just that short, that's gut-wrenching.
Well, they kneel it again. That is the game. The Reds get the win, 7-0 over the Grizzlies. A defensive game indeed. We appreciate you joining us on the broadcast. We're going to be sending it over on radio to the Snow Canyon and Green Canyon matchup. For those watching online, we will be hopping into our post-game show here shortly as the Reds get the win, 7-0. 3 minutes, and we will be back with more on the Fan Sports Network.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bose Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bose Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
I'm Aaron Crane, host of the Region 10 Recap. Want to relive the highlights of the game? Look for the Region 10 Recap every week. Just follow St. George News on Facebook or go to stgeorgenews.com.
First Ace Hardware is conveniently located in St. George on the corner of Bluff Street and St. George Boulevard with 30,000 square feet of lawn and garden, paint, tools, fabrics, sporting goods, and the most complete nut and bolt section in town. Hearst General Store, the Big Ace store on Bluff and on Main in Cedar City.
We are Utah's financial outfitter, and we're here when it's time for your business to climb higher. Cache Valley Bank, mountains await. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Asphalt. It's not something we think about much except when it's in bad shape. At Holbrook Asphalt, we help cities, HOAs, and businesses avoid replacing painfully expensive roads and parking lots. To avoid the cost of replacing asphalt, you must effectively preserve it while it's still in good condition. University research has shown Holbrook Asphalt's HA5 slows asphalt aging by 67%. We make your pavement assets last longer, cost less to own, all while achieving higher property values. Visit holbrookasphalt.com to discover more.
I'm Bo Bradshaw, owner of Bo's Auto Parts. I want to watch the game as well, so I'll make this quick. When you come into Bo's Auto Parts, our store mission is simple. Supply our customers with the best auto parts and the best customer service we can provide. Come on by and see if we can deliver.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
Welcome into the post-game show here. The Cedar Reds get the win 7-0 over the Grizzlies. Who would have thought, Keith, that the one score of the game would be a quarterback keeper in the first quarter to give the Reds the win?
Yeah, not me, Caden. When we started this off, I thought, oh, we're going to have a high-scoring game and lots of points scored, and turned into a defensive battle and a stop down inside the 10-yard line for this one to wrap up. But what a great ending. What a great ball game.
It was definitely a big matchup that we knew it was going to be tight. It was the 8-9 matchup here in the playoffs, and so we knew this one would be a tight one. I didn't know it would be as defensively tight.
Yeah.
Because really that's what it was. It was these two defenses coming out and playing some tough ball. But I think at the end of it, you know what? The Grizzlies had a lot of guys playing on both sides of the ball, both on the offensive and defensive lines. You had, for example, Titan Mason, who was a corner, and he was also in a running back. And, so seeing some of those guys out there, they're probably getting tired, It's tough.
Well, you got to give their coaching staff a lot of credit. They realize they don't have a lot of bodies to work with, and so they've got to play a lot of kids both ways. And bless their hearts, they gave it everything they had on that field today, and just came up, yards short.
Yeah, it really was about that, And we've talked about our Bo's Auto Parts crucial part of the game a little bit, and I think there might be multiple of them, but really it came down to that last possession right there where the Reds made that fourth down stop on a 4th and 4 for that Grizzlies offense to try to convert, and they did what they had to do. They closed it out. They left the Grizzlies scoreless, so the Reds get that win 7-0, and they will move on now to go face Crimson Cliffs next week at home. So we'll have a Region 10 matchup. Now, the last time those two teams matched up, Crimson Cliffs won that game pretty handily, so we'll see what they can do in the next matchup. But we're not talking about that one quite yet.
No,
we're not quite there.
It was, we called that game. It was senior night at Crimson, and so there was a lot of emotion going on, plus Crimson had just been beaten the week before. But this is the second round of the playoffs, so it's going to be even more. But, you got to love how the Cedar defense really played hard today. They got really good pressure up front when they needed it, and just made some key tackles, key stops when they needed to. And if they can bring that next week, it'll be a fun ball game. I think they can give Crimson a whole bunch of headaches if they.
Yeah, they definitely can. If the defense played as well as they did tonight, then I think they can definitely do that. Now, Crimson is they're an offensive team. They got a lot of good offensive offensive structure to their team, but they also have a lot of offensive guys that have been out with injuries this season. Last I knew that you had, for example, Jordan Eaton, who's one of their top receivers. He was out on the sidelines. Connor Kell, he got hit super hard and went down with concussion-like symptoms. I don't know where he's at in his recovery process either, so he very well could be out. We'll see. There's been a lot of time to rest, and they might be able to get him back out there on the field for the matchup next week. But the Crimson and Cedar matchup will be fun. It's fun to see two Region 10 teams facing off against each other, and it just means a little bit more Region 10 football for us down south, and this does bring an end of the season though for the Grizzlies, and that's got to be tough for them. They played well. It was a limited roster, not a lot of guys out there, but they kept themselves injury free through the entire season, and played hard.
Part. Yeah, and they played a lot of young kids too, and
a lot of sophomores.
To be injury free and not have their numbers dwindle, I mean, that's a huge. I just can't. I'll take my hat off to them. They've spent. You can tell they've spent a lot of time in the weight room. They do a lot of conditioning just to keep those kids healthy and upright. I mean, huge kudos to them.
Yeah, in talking about the roster a little bit, Keaton Pond's going to come back. He's a junior. You have Titan Mason's going to come back that we had mentioned a lot. You have, Thornley's one of the seniors, so he will be out of there. You have Reed Olson that we talked about as a sophomore. He's got a few years left in him. Cooper Red as well.
Their whole line,
Topu is a senior, so he's out. Crew Kennington's out. So you have a few of those seniors that we mentioned a lot. Ethan Bracken as well is another one of those seniors, so he'll be gone. But we're talking. I just named off a bunch of the names, and it was about 50-50 between impactful guys that were seniors, impactful guys that are underclassmen. So a lot of them will be coming back, and a lot of guys out there that, just because we don't say their name doesn't mean they're not making an impact, right? They're still in there on the plays. They're in the trenches getting dirty, and there's a lot of guys that are juniors. So this Logan team, if you're a Grizzlies fan, you got a lot to look forward to in the future, I think.
You really do. And another off season in the weight room, and maybe they can get a few more bodies coming in, to help give them some additional help that way as far as bodies go. They could be the team to beat up there in Region 11 next year.
Absolutely. So again, the final score here is 7-0. Skyview got the win, so they're going to be moving on as well. Hurricane will have to take the long bus ride home so they can high-five Logan on the way back, I guess. Those are always tough. Those are tough rides home when you go all the way from one end of the state to the other, and have to make that long trip back. Okay. It's always tough. So,
which bus ride would you rather have? The Logan one where you lose by, you're inside the 10, or the Hurricane one where you get the doors blown off?
I would rather have Hurricanes. I'm not gonna lie. I think having Hurricanes where you can kind of process it during the game and you don't have to process it on the bus on the way home is a little better.
I agree.
It's neither's a situation I want to be in. I would never want to lose in the playoffs.
Sure.
And, I did sports in high school. I know what it's like to lose in the playoffs. It's not fun. It's not fun to go into state and lose. It's not what you ever plan on doing, obviously, right? So it's tough. But you know what? These guys played their hearts out. They had a good season, 500 season, 5-5 for the Logan Grizzlies. So I'll give them a lot of credit that way. They had some great plays, a lot to look forward to. But at the end of the day, the Cedar Reds are the ones that move on. Again, they also have a lot of youth on this team.
Yeah.
A lot of youth that and sprinkled in with some experience as well. So we'll see what they can do as they move on to the second round of the playoffs.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun. Well, hopefully they can, if they're banged up a little bit, they can rest up now, and they got a big game again, as we mentioned, against Crimson. It's going to be fun having 3 games from down in Region 10 next week to see how those play out. And but just a great time of year, and congratulations to these Cedar seniors. They're going to remember this is their last home game on this field, and walking off with a victory, that's something you'll always remember. So congratulations to them.
Well, so we hand out some awards for Logan, their McDonald's player of the game, as they call it. 2 names come out to me, and I'm having a hard time picking. I'm leaning Ethan Bracken or Titan Mason, one of the two backs. I kind of lean Bracken because he's the one that was getting some big yardage plays that really put them into consideration there towards the end of hey, maybe this team can score. But both of them really put in a lot of work. So I don't know if we go co-McDonald's player of the game there or not, but those two really put in a lot of work. What are your thoughts?
Well, Tolusi, I can't say it.
Tolosi Topu.
He really...
And he as well on the defensive side and offensively. I mean, he's one of those linemen that gave them some running room anyways, right?
If it wasn't for his play in that second quarter, I think you almost got to put it up there, but... You know, we always give it to the running back.
We always give it to the guys with the ball in their hands,
I say we give it to the D lineman.
I'm fine with that. Let's do it.
All right.
You know what? And he had that play that pressured Coden Lunt in the end zone, forced him to get rid of the ball. If it wasn't for him, I mean, he was a big part of that defense that kept Cedar at only 7 points.
Yeah, he really was. Thanks for voting there with me.
You swayed me. You swayed me. There's a lot of guys on a roster. You know, it's hard to remember which ones all did which stuff. So I'm glad that you pointed that out. How about on the Region 10 side for the Hearst Ace Hardware Player of the Game for the Reds? Is there a name that sticks out to you on that side?
Man, I wish there was. I'm trying to think of, because unfortunately we didn't have a huge game by Crenshaw. Lunt had a couple of, had an interception.
I'm going to go.
Who are you going with?
Again, defensively.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Damian McGarvey. He had a few broken up passes. He played some great minutes out there at corner. He did end up with that one pass interference, but I won't hold that against him too much because he really did help shut down that passing game as a corner out there for the Reds. So I might go Damian McGarvey for you.
I'll give you another one. Traden Elliott.
Traden Elliott as well. Had a good game offensively as well.
But I'm with you. I think McGarvey's play on the defensive side really set the tone for the Red. And, hey, we called his name a lot, so I think that's a great call.
Fair enough. Anyways, this one, as we mentioned, wraps up 7-0. The Reds get the win over the Logan Grizzlies. They'll move on to face the Mustangs coming up in round 2. So head on over to thefansportsnetwork.com. You can catch the Snow Canyon and Green Canyon matchup. And on region10sports.tv, you can rewatch this one as well when this one gets wrapped up. And so that's kind of your home for Region 10 athletics is region10sports.tv. So thank you for joining us on the broadcast. We will be with you next week as well to bring you more state playoff football here from 4A classification. It's been Caden Formaster and Keith Curtis. Thank you and have a good night.
Good night, everybody.